All right, the stream cut out, which was really, really annoying. I was do like just like Breath of the Wild. I was hoping to do one massive stream and be going through the whole hero's journey, but it cut out. But where we left off, went up and did this shrine, and then we started working on that. I mean, not the biggest loss in the world, because then that means that like if this stream cuts out, or if I run out of time before I have to stop, we can continue the hero's journey multiple streams now anyway. Um, but yeah, at this point, there was a little Psychosaur pen where they heard the weird voice coming from the well, and we had to like check it out. And he kept like chickening out because he was scared of the dark. He was scared of what could be making the noise. Um, then we went to explore sort of like Spring of Courage and like the Draskau Lake. We were once again told to go get a shard or a claw, which I guess maybe we did have then. Oh, maybe we had it because we're doing the shrine right now. Then there was like the Addison puzzle above that, and we just kind of like raced our way through Floria till we got to like this stable, and I saw like the Don Dons across the river, and for a second I thought they were like guardians of some sign, and the guardians were back, but they weren't. And I got so caught up with the stable that I forgot that they were there for a while, for a decent chunk of time. The stable and the shrine, yeah, and I just got some more batteries. And this was me heading to Floria Bridge to see if I could get like the picture for the quest line, because we had gotten the quest line like given to us. So I got over to the bridge to try and take the picture, but like it wasn't sunny, so I couldn't do it. Then there's some kind of fight that happened here, but I can't remember what it was, because I remember like getting annoyed by it. There was like bananas or something, and those like statues where there used to be a quark puzzle. I was trying to do something with them, and I couldn't figure it out because there wasn't anything this time, and something was attacking me while I was doing it. We continued on our way. Helped Addison on the way, did this little shrine, and then we talked to the mayor of Lurlin. That was a naked shrine. That was like the flowy one, so that makes sense why that took a while. Yeah, we talked to the mayor of Lurlin, and then we went down and we cleared out the pirate ship, and we started cleaning up pirates in the village. But I remember we like struggled for like a bit of a while after we thought we had done it, because there was one monster that was like down the well, and that was like super well hidden. And it took me a while to actually like find him and kill him. But then we managed to save the village, and Bolson needed wood, so we cut down some wood, fought some Evermeans. I think we almost like dropped it on his head at one point. Tried to use Bloob to carry it a bit, but there wasn't much point when we could just drop them off the cliff. But we managed to get all the logs pretty quickly. Then I went over here because like the entire reason that I had started going down this route is because I wanted to get the memory of like the sickle. And I went all the way to the end of the sickle and couldn't find it. I was like, oh, it's not there. Climbed the mountain a little, chicken out of a battle Talos right here, and then I think I spotted the memory, and then I went down to do it, and there was the Addison Sun guy there too. I tried to do something at the Palomar Ruins, but I couldn't figure out anything to do, which I don't think there actually was anything to do there. It was a bit of a shame. It would have been kind of cool if that, actually, like, thinking about it now, would have been kind of cool if this could have been, like, a back entrance to, like, the Whistling Cave with, like, the boat in it. Of course, still go in, like, the actual cave entrance and whistle to open it, but then once you're inside, you could open up, like, the other end of the Palomar Ruins. That might have been cool. But yeah, exploring up here. It was, like, a Korok or something. I was trying to, like, find a cave. Glowed all the way to Eventide Island to deliver the Korok. Oh, and then we talked to the guy who had said to like clear out the monster camps on Eventide, and so we climbed all the way at the top. And we discovered the cave pretty early on. I don't know if it was right there. We discovered the cave early, and I think it was here. And I spent a long time in it trying to figure out how to get the bars away to get to the shrine, and I couldn't end up doing that. I mentioned, so I eventually bailed and I actually went on the surface to fight the monster camps. Oh, well, we didn't even do it then. Yeah, we just stopped by the island. I was like, huh, I don't know what to do here. And then I just left. Oh, I was buying arrows. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was buying some arrows. As I do. As I frequently do. Oh no, we did take a detour. Yeah, because we went up here to investigate this sort of like island chain. And I struggled finding the crystal for this guy forever. Yeah, I even tried like going down. Well, we went for the memory anyway. Yeah, we didn't manage to find the crystal in that cave. I wasn't like paying close enough attention, and I completely missed it. But we got the memory, which was the main reason I came up here. I remember there was like a bunch of Lionels in this area in the original game. Oh, I think that was me taming the golden horse and trying to like sneak it around. Can't remember why I went up here. Oh no, I was looking for the golden horse, and I thought it was in one of these two spots, and then I spotted it there, and I rushed out and got it, and then like ran back away with it to try and get away from the Gleeok. Almost pretty cowardly, but hey. And then I was like spending like a little bit more time looking like more finely at like all these different islands and these floating platforms to find the crystal before it's like, oh, it's in the cave under this island the entire time. I felt quite stupid, but we got the Star Island out of it, so that's fine. Can't remember why we went back to the Goron City. Maybe it was to buy more arrows. Oh, and then here we aimed for this Skyview Tower. Yeah. And I spent a while, because there was the note saying that the supplies were in the cave, and so like I knew that like, oh, I have to go in a cave to activate the Skyview Tower. And I spent so long looking for the cave. Surprised I didn't spot the Hinox that was in the area. Then eventually found it. And I had it in my notes. There was actually this pretty funny bit while we were in the cave, where when we found the bullfrog, I used like Riju's power and like a flame arrow by accident to activate the bullfrog. And so we accidentally just absolutely fucking murdered it. Got another Star Island there, though. And this is when I remembered, oh shit, I forgot to actually go talk to the Don Dons. And so we went and investigated the Don Dons, and we fed them some luminous stones and found out, like, their pathing is a little bit weird. Their pathfinding is a little bit borked. They can't exactly, like, do things correctly. That's just another stop for crystals. Oh, this is me checking out the Lower Gazette. I mean, I think I was checking in on, like, how many quests I had left or something, maybe? Or maybe I forgot that there was still something to do, but yeah. And we went and did this one where we climbed the mountain, and this like monster camp attacked me when I was up the way, like trying to get up the mountain. And I was like, oh shit, run. And we had to glide across. Or actually, no. Maybe we didn't do it yet. Because I think I fell down or I went too far. But yeah, and then I got up the mountain, and then I glide over, and there was like the Princess Zelda that was like in the cage, and it was like a Yiga in disguise. And then that might have been the last fucking Clover Gazette one. I'm not sure. Oh, and then this was me following the horse to like go to the Addison sign. Yeah. We went into the Addison sign when we were on the way, and then we went up to Wash's Bluff to talk to Penn now that we finished the quest line. Crazy how long ago that was. It still feels kind of recent finishing the Penn quest line. Still not over it. Checking what memory I had to go for next. Oh yeah, and then here we were just kind of exploring this area a little bit, and we spotted the Sand Seal girl, and we helped her get her plushes back again. And then I explored this sort of island chain. Again, I found the red arrow, and I wasn't sure what it meant. I went back to activate the shrine before I went down, and then I went down into the depths here. And like I was trying to get to that light route, but this was before I had learned that water meant walls in the depths. And so I was just kind of like stumbling around in the dark, trying to find the pits. And eventually I got this. And I think this was my first. This might have been my second, but I'm pretty sure this was my first old treasure that I managed to get. That I managed to get in the depths. And I just like barely like snuck past the Phantom Ganon to grab it. And then I bailed because it's like, yeah, there's only walls in the way. Went back to this warp to get that one, get that memory. Oh, this is me going for the giant white stallion and taming it. And did I turn it? Yeah, I did turn it in at the stable. So that guy should have known that I had it. Then I decided to go on foot to explore the Tau Bab, at least for a while. Completely missed the Lionel that was there, by the way. Talked to... Or was there someone here? Oh, yeah, there was an Addison sign here. Yeah, I did that Addison sign. Checked the peak for a Korok. Went down here. I was like, oh, where's the crystal? Oh, the crystal's up here. And I think it was like right here. There's like the guy. I was like, oh, I'd love to see a giant white stallion. I was like, shit, I left that back at the stable. Oh, well. But then I went and got the memory. Oh, and then here's that Korok with the plane that I struggled with forever, and I kept reloading the saves. And I don't know if this is the point where I necessarily learned it, but this is the point where I really started to sink in that, oh, shit, your auto builds don't save when you reload a save. So actually getting this cry across was kind of difficult. If I knew the wing mechanics better, maybe I would have like struggled less. But now I had my white stallion, and I could get the crystal, and I could activate the shrine. Oh, and then here is me gliding. Gliding, question mark? Yeah, here is me gliding down to the last memory on the sword. And it was actually like quite funny that when we activated this memory, first off, there were some Bokos down there that I was kind of teasing. But when we first activated this memory, Dinral just so happened to be on her path, like right up here. So you could see like Dinral watching over as we got the memory and the light dragon showed up, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know if you can get memories in any order or not, But I imagine that you can, and the light dragon have like a slightly different animation for each, or not different animation, but different background for each. But we already had the warp here, so we just warped here and got the final memory and the picture of the silent princesses and the light dragon. And then I went back here to see if Impa was there. I don't know if she was or not. She must not have been, because I went to Kakariko to check for her too. And then I tried to get in the floating ring ruins again because I thought like, oh, I know what happened to Zelda now. But no. Oh, and then I glowed for that Sky Island. Got this little shrine down here in the base of the desert. Didn't find the Molduga there yet though. Oh, and then I apparently went. I don't super remember going back up to this guy, but I went up there for some. Oh, it was because there was another Star Island. Yeah, because I had marked them all on the mini map because we had like the map like complete now, and so I had like marked off where all the Star Islands were, and I was traveling to them like one by one, making a stop for some charges and arrows. This is me trying to find the cave and the shrine on Drenzel Plateau again and missing it again and just deciding, I'll go back to Eventide. I had the shrine. I didn't have the shrine yet, remember? And so I actually went there and I actually cleared out the monster camps. I started at the top and worked my way down till I get like hardest to easiest. Maybe I checked in the cave again. I'm not sure if I did or not. But then I talked to the guy, and he was like, oh, there's pirates. Where can they be? And I was like, huh, where could the pirates be? And then went and killed the pirates. And I think at this point, they had like leveled up to be like a silver boss bokoblin and shit. So it actually was like a pretty tough fight. But I kind of peppered them from arrows to cheese it a little. I don't know if you can necessarily call that cheese, but because they have ranged attacks too. But you know what I mean. Oh. Just a little bit of like a supply run. And then here I tried to head to the Southern Oasis. I can't remember if it was for the shrine or the mini game. But I did the shrine first. I'm pretty sure I was going for the mini game. And I gave it a shot. And I remember checking my notes earlier today, and I was like 10 seconds shy of potentially getting it. Like not the paraglider fabric, but like, you know, just beating the mini game. Because you have to get like 330 to beat the mini game, 230 to get like the best reward. I think I was like 340 or something like that. And so it was like, oh, I just barely missed it. But also funny watching like the hero's journey there, just warping back. That's actually included on the hero's journey. Oh, and this was just going to get the ice for the Noble Pursuit. This is the one point where like the streams were like really cutting out that stream, and so a lot of my footage from there is lost. Oh, this is me deciding to check out the promenade. I think just on a whim I decided to check it out to see if there was anything there, and yeah, there was like a cave under the waterfall, which was cool, and a shrine, and slightly harder enemies until you got to here, where then it was like a little bit easier technically because there wasn't a Lionel here. I think there was like a blue Lizzle or something at that camp, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, the blue enemies are still spawning, so you can still get their horns. That's cool. Oh, and then here I started working my way up Lunario, and it was right here where I encountered another Gloom Spawn. I don't know if this was my second Gloom Spawn, but the second one that I strongly remember encountering and like running away from, like, oh shit, oh fuck. And then we used the Skyview Tower. Oh yeah, we didn't have the full sky map because we hadn't done this one yet, but then we used that to try and get up to these islands because I thought these would be high enough to get the light dragon, and that's where I saw the light dragon. Not realizing at the time that like, oh, she can be basically anywhere. And then just decided to enter the depths very briefly to activate a shrine flight route. Yeah, I just kind of weird that I just skipped by that island entirely. Just went straight for the star. And then I'm surprised I didn't make it. Yeah, I tried to make it. I think there was like a waterfall pulling after one of this ones, and so I thought I could glide up, but I couldn't. But I landed in the place where the three Hinox brothers were originally. And here was the bit where you had to like burn down the brambles to get to the Skyview Tower. But it was like raining, and so you had to like build like a roof to actually like access them. And there's a little like family from Lurlin out front that I had to tell like, oh, the village is safe now. Or I guess no, the village hadn't been rebuilt. The village had been saved, but it hadn't been rebuilt yet. Oh, and then here's the bit. Here's the bit where like I taped a Korok to like the front of my car and just like drove him around as a hood ornament. That was the first thing that I did that could remotely be called Korok torture, and even that was like very tame for Korok torture. But yeah, I used that to get to that water island, and I built a little flying machine to get to the star. Oh, and then here's probably the most sequence breaky shit I ever did in the game. I decided to like go to Thunderhead Isles, trying to like activate the shrines and shit on it. And I just stumbled around in the rain forever. It felt like I was going a lot further than I was, but I really wasn't. And I thought I stopped by... Oh, I must have reloaded a save at some point, because I thought I tried to fight the Flux Construct, and I couldn't like do it at all, because it was a Tier 3. And I didn't know that at the time, but the Tier 3 spots warp. But even regardless of that, I just couldn't see what was going on at all. But by sheer dumb luck, I managed to get on Dragonhead Isle and get Minero's pieces and head down to Tabia's Hollow. And then, I thought it was like a straight down thing, but no, it's like at an angle. The sort of like elevator that leads you to, and it instantly warps too, which implies some level of cutsceneness. Which I know you can actually go in this. You can go in this chasm and explore it on foot. That is possible. But I think it was a cutscene the first time that you did it, so I guess it makes sense that it would just cutscene jump you to the construct factory. But then I did the whole Monero quest line. Apparently, the like bits that like hold Monero's like body parts. Oh, and there was like a bit there where I was trying to like climb up to get to like the light route or something. I couldn't figure out how to get to the right lay depot. But apparently the like boxes that hold her like body parts. Apparently, they're like super like light yet strong and durable because they never like break. And despawning them is also like very difficult. And so they're actually very good to like build things out of. And I managed to get the light route and actually get up to the Red Lake Depot. We kind of just snuck our way past most of the enemies. Collected a bunch of posts before actually activating her though. And then I think this is the point where we had her activated and we had our mech suit and we started like the trek through the depths. And they were completely uncharted depths too, which made it extra spooky, unlike following the statues. Yeah, and there was like a supply cache, and you mentioned the light route. There's a Hinox, I think, right here-ish, right? Yeah, in between that. It's either in between that light route and the stash, or in between the stash and the temple. I can't remember which, but there was like a Hinox. Okay, it must have been there because we did a lot of back and forth there. Oh no, this is where the mining was. Yeah, I think it was like before that stash. There was the Hinox, and then this is where the rocks we mined. And then we used the rocket to like jump up and get in the spirit temple. And then we went down and we fought the seized construct, and I actually struggled in that fight for like a long time. I couldn't figure out how I was supposed to damage him, which is very silly. I know. And this is me trying to get into the Lost Roots again, and I couldn't do it again. And so then I tried. Oh yeah, and then I went to the depths very briefly there. Okay, and then this is me. Okay. We'll go back. All right, and this is me officially deciding to explore the depths. I glued down here and I was like, okay, I'm gonna explore the depths. This is the point where I looked up like, oh, the Lost Woods, you have to ascend from below to get to them. And so I decided to start exploring underground Lost Woods. And again, I hadn't figured out how the depths map worked yet. And so I was just kind of like randomly exploring. I hit this wall and I followed in. And then I met the Queen Gleeok. And maybe I hadn't engaged the Fire Gleeok yet. Maybe I had. I'm not sure. But it was fucking terrifying. This was like the closest I had like ever been to a Gleeok, and it was like the hardest one in the game, and it could deal depth damage, and the place was completely dark, and it felt massive. Looking at it now on the map, and now that it's lit up, it's clearly not that big of an arena. But like sneaking around this place and trying to like get around the guy, like look how slow I'm moving. It felt huge just following these walls and being like, oh shit, there is no way out of here. And eventually I bailed to this light route. But then I just started exploring like the walls of the depths. Anyway, got that guy that I missed so much. Then here's this damn Yiga camp that I went to, and I didn't like know about killing the guy at the red circle to get the schematic, and so I ended up like deciding to save this for like my last Yiga camp. Yeah, see, I kept looking for like any sort of passage through. Eventually got the light route, and then I think about this was the point. Yeah, because like now you can see I'm following the wall. Around the point I hit this light route or went back for this light route is the point where I realized, oh shit, water on the surface is a wall in the depths. That's why I can't get into the Lost Woods. I have to go to like where the entrance is underground. And so then I started just following the path, and it became a lot easier. I remember commenting on it was kind of like a pretty like area over here though. Then I kind of like rushed my way through the depths a little bit here. I kept warping to and from the shrine to like activate light routes, which I probably really didn't have to do, but I did it anyway. Oh, and then this was me. Oh yeah, because like I didn't have like time to like finish the like properly explore the Great Forest in the stream. I'm pretty sure is what happened, and so I decided like, oh hey, if water is like contained in the depths, that means the chasm under Eventide has to be under Eventide. And so I went there to investigate this, and then I found the Boko Coliseum, which is actually kind of lucky that was my first Coliseum because the Bokos, are the easiest enemies. So it's kind of funny taking them on first, or fitting rather, I guess. Do another arrow run. and charge run. Oh, oh, and then here I decided to do like a bit of a detour. This was me trying to start on the Firefly quest line because it was nighttime. So I went up here and I put on my stealth suit and I harvested a bunch of fireflies. And then I think I brought them to turn them in. And the girl said like, "Oh yeah, I'll follow you and see what's happening." And then I got like a foot out the stable and then it started raining. And so I was like, "Well, screw it. Now I have to do something else." And so I ended up, yeah, you can see here I warped into the underneath the Great Hyrule Forest and then ascended up and I climbed in and I went. I talked to a bunch of like the like muted Koroks and did the shrine, and then I dove down and I spent a long time fighting this Phantom Ganon because I had never killed a Gloom Spawn before, let alone a Phantom Ganon, and so I really struggled with killing them. But eventually I got them down, and I managed to talk to the Great Deku Tree, and we started our quest line, going to each of the Koroks things. I can't really remember because I still kind of remember what the quest lines were for in the original game for each of these guys, but I don't really remember these ones what their quest lines were. I know that like the one on the bottom you had to glide in from above. I'm pretty sure the top left one was like having to get past all the monsters. Yeah, no, this is where the Talos was. This is where the Talos you had to kill was. I can't remember what that quest was though. But yeah, you had to like dive off the island, and there was like even like a Korok to unlock there that I think I did too, of like a Korok seed. But eventually I managed to do all of them, and I think this is me doing the hide and seek thing where there was the guy that hid stuff all around the Great Deku Tree, and I was looking around forever and just running circles and circles and circles trying to get it. I think that was me healing. And then, oh, hold on. What was that? Oh, yeah. Because I had been given the quest to actually get the Master Sword. And so now the Great Korok Tree was like tracking the Light Dragon on my minimap. And so I glowed over and I got on the Light Dragon and then just zoomies, got the Master Sword at the Temple of Time. I'm very curious how that's actually handled about her flying back. Because she does like fly back to the Temple of Time from like basically anywhere, I'm pretty sure. I wonder, because like the actual cutscene is not like, it only lasts as long as it takes to drain that stamina wheel. And so I have no idea whether she's actually moving through the world at that speed or if it just like plays like a background cutscene of like sky rushing by. You know, I don't know. Can you actually see like Death Mountain in the background at angles? Could you actually see the Thunderhead Isles in the background at angles? You know, I don't know how that is handled. But yeah, I got the Master Sword and I talked to the Deku Tree. I was like, hey, I got it. Sweet. And I think that was that might have been it. It finally stopped raining, and I finally actually managed to do the Piper quest. Yeah, and this was another point where the stream cut out very nastily. Actually, I don't think we've hit the nasty Gerudo cutout stream then yet, because this is the point where the stream just like cut out, and I lost like 20 minutes of footage of me activating the last Great Fairy, of talking to the Gerudo women with the Master Sword, and then activating the last Great Fairy. Did those caves that I'd put off for so long. Didn't remember doing that cave then. I guess I must have. Because I activated the Satori tree, I guess. Yeah, and I was this is me like discovering the cave that went like under Mount Floria. That was pretty cool. Oh. Maybe it was buying something for pros, maybe? I don't know. Oh, that was me like chickening out from like there. This is like the first point I encountered. Well, first off, there was like a Lionel that was like down here or something like that. But like, or maybe it was. Yeah, I'm pretty positive he was like over here. But then also there was like a Korok puzzle here with like the Dandelion that flew out, and so I did that one, and that was like my first time doing like the Dandelion Korok. I was just sailing me over to enter this chasm, and I just kind of like bailed after I got it. I don't remember why. I think I saw Faroche entering it from a distance, and I was like, oh, I want a Faroche part. And so I just went there and just got a part and then bailed before we hit the Yugi camp. And then that allowed me to like go to the Spring of Courage. Well, no, I already had the warp there, so no, that wasn't what happened. I think this was me trying to experiment. Or maybe not. I can't remember what I'm doing. I think I'm looking for Nidra here. Yeah, I'm looking for Nidra. Yeah, because this is the point where I found out like these were the like chasms that they entered and exited. And the post that I had found said that they entered and exited at a specific time, but they don't work like that anymore. The dragons are not time-based anymore. But eventually I caught Nidra and I wrote her down and I passed over Marble Goma for that light route. And I just like completely like phased that out of my mind of like, hey, wait a minute. I just hold on just a second. That was a Marble Goma rematch, huh? I didn't like realize that until like I think even like a few days after I'd passed by that area. I was just like, giant crab, whatever. This is me trying to figure out what like the riddle was about. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and eventually I just went down for that one. That wasn't the one. That was one that I just spotted. Oh no, I didn't do that one yet. Okay, there's the race mini game there eventually. Oh, this is me going back to Thunderhead Isles. See if I could explore it now, but I couldn't. It was still stormy, and I was like, huh, hold on a minute. What's that about? This is me doing something in Lurelin. I don't know if I was maybe like setting up like the lost T-shirt, or I was checking in on the people because we hadn't really done that yet. I think I was jumping around telling people that Lurelin was safe to go to. I think might have been what happened, and then I was checking out now that everyone was like should have been back at least. Oh, and then that was me. Okay, now here's the point where I started on like the quest line of going after the Divine Helms. And I went to like the cave here with all the ice keys, and you had to like flood the cave. And it ended up being a great spot to farm ice keys anyway in the future. So I managed to get the Va Meadow Helm. And then I went up to like go to like the 2 lizards, and I found the cave and got the Barudania Helm, and I activated the shrine while I was in the area. And then I think as I left, did I? No, I just turned in the Rodania Helm. I didn't do the monster camp there yet. Oh, maybe I forgot to actually turn in the helm for Va Meadow. Then I went to Zora's Domain. And this one took me like a long time to find where the cave actually was. I kept going back and forth before eventually finding, was this the cave? I don't know if that was the cave or not. Because it took me forever to find it. And I still don't remember where it was. But eventually I found the actual cave in the depths, and then I went down to the depths, and I was like, oh, Abandoned Lenara Mine. That might have something to do with like the Koga quest line later. And it turned out to do. Actually, I don't know if I clocked in as Koga quest line or not yet, but and then we went out and we followed the sword. And then here's the funny bit where it's like I followed the sword, and then I followed the sword, and then it went up here, and then there was a Molduga here, and so I think I was on a sand seal, and then I just ran away from the Molduga as fast as I could, and I ended up here where there was another Molduga. And then I backtracked a bit, and eventually I found the sword path again, and it warmed up to here. And then, I had to spend like forever underground mining out the caves before eventually getting to the bottom of Boris Helm. See, look how much back and forthing I'm doing. But eventually I got it. So then I had all the Divine Helms. I already had a Vaughn and Boris Helm for my amiibo, but still. And then, here is going back to what I had noticed, maybe. Or maybe it was just the cave. Yeah, no, it was. Because up here, I ran into the monster control crew, and they took me into this cave where we fought like a batch of monsters. And then I went over to Akala, and I met them on the Akala span, and we fought monsters on the bridge, which was like, kind of like a fun like battle like location. Then I went over here, and I kind of like followed the path around until I eventually found the boat. And this is another bit where like the stream cut out. And I lost, but now this is the bit where things got fucky with the stream cutting out, because I managed to do the monster camp there, and then I went to do some random shit around Gerudo Town. At least I eventually did. Oh no, I did do this camp first. I did do the Heber camp first. I just met them like right outside the camp, and I can't remember what it was, but I struggled on the ramp outside the camp with something of like the attack not really going as planned. But I can't remember what it was now. But then, I went to Gerudo Town. I did some exploring to, like, save the jewel salesman from the Molduga, and apparently fought that Molduga. I don't remember doing that, but I guess I did. And then there's some, like, little miscellaneous quests on town. I think maybe, like, the kid with the orb, possibly. But, like, the stream kept cutting out over and over again, and eventually I just, like, kind of, like, gave up for the day. I don't remember exactly when I gave up for the day, but eventually I did. Can't remember what I was looking for necessarily. It's kind of faded from my mind now. And then here was me trying to find the caves, and like you can even see, it was like, the guys were like pointing me in the direction of like, he fell into like a cave, and so I even started like going down here, but I was like, oh, I've already been in that one. He's probably not in there. That doesn't seem to match the description of where he was. And so then I just kept exploring the desert, like basically every like corner of the desert that I could. And I'm pretty sure I entered the desert rift and fought some Gibdos at some point. Kind of explored like the whole route of ruins. I accidentally found like the back way into the eighth heroine thing. Yeah, there was me fighting Gibdos down below. I went after the Satori tree to like highlight all the caves so I could find them easier. I started that cave and do that one. And then eventually I realized like, the only cave that meets the description is the one that I've already been in. And so then I went back in and it's like, oh yeah, that was where he was. Then you had to like use the sand seal to like take that one Gerudo to the heroine statues because she wanted to like see them. And then I think I used that sand steel since I had like to save money. I used that same sand steel to grab the orb and bring it back to Gerudo Town. I don't know if I had done like all I got. Yeah, I must have because the path I just take there. I think that's the point where I had done all of the eighth heroine things, and I managed to enter like this cave underneath the ruins and got like the reward. Whereas like the stash where like all the Gerudo weapons respawn, which is actually very cool. I wasn't sure they respawned or not, but they do. So that's actually quite useful. Okay, and this is me going to do like the hard mode version of the race, so that I could then get them to Lurelin, and then I could do the boat races. Which hold on, did I not do the boat races yet? Maybe they just don't go out as far as I thought they did. I'm assuming I did not do the boat races yet. Must be what that means. That's what I'm guessing. Oh yeah, I got more battery so that I could like do better at the boat races. But yeah, and then I just did all of the boat races. Can't remember what I was looking for there. I think I thought like I might have said like a Hinox on Double Dungeon or something. I don't think I was using that map yet though, actually. Maybe I was. Oh yeah, I must have because then I went out to kill a Talus there. Yeah, I think it was about the point where I started like looking up like monster locations on the map to fight a few of them. Harvesting some kind of resources here. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, go back. Okay, and this is the bit where I went up and I glowed over to the Sky Island, and then there was like the like race mini game where you had to like sled down the whole hill. Yeah, that's what that was. Somehow I missed all the phantom cannons there, but eventually I worked my way down to this cave to get the shrine that was like in the back of this cave, and then kept exploring the cave because it was a big ass cave system, that one. And I just use the sky view tower. Yeah, I just use the sky view tower to glide over to this shrine. Oh, and then I use that shrine to glide down to this guy and kind of like completely skip the whole getting past the quicksand puzzle. Headed back to this guy, and I think I put down a travel medallion there too. Just try to do some sailing around. I can't remember what I was sailing to try and find. I think I went the wrong way there is probably what happened. But yeah, and then I managed to land at this shrine. And I think there was like a Lionel right outside, question mark? No, I didn't find him yet. Oh, I think, is this about the point I did the mute stream, maybe? I can't remember. Yeah, I think this is the point where I started, or maybe not. Can't remember what I'm doing. I don't know what I was doing there. I think that, oh yeah, we should the mute stream because this back here, this is me farming Octorok eyes. I was trying to get Octorok eyes here. I think I was getting like honey or silent princesses there or something like that. I got like an Aracuda eye over there. Don't know what I was going for there. Warped to the wrong shrine. I was getting moblin horns from the stall moblins there. I'm going to turn upgrades to the Great Fairy, I think. I'm going to check the horse god to see what I needed for all my horse upgrades. Just trying to find like a good place with smothering butterflies, and it was like the same place they were in the original game, along that sort of like flank. Then maybe I went for like fire lizzles or something, question mark? I think it was like doing like ore deposits and smother wings kind of like simultaneously here. This actually might be actually off of me at stream, actually. Because I do remember coming back on stream to explore caves. But I don't think that that was quite this yet. I think that this was still when I was muted. Yeah. Oh, no. Because then I was killing the Ignotalis, so I think that this is back after I came back. Then I went there for like Swift Fellows or something. I can't remember at all why I went there. Yeah, because I think this was me going after electric lizzle parts. This is the point where I started like using maps. And I started flying around trying to find lizzles. Maybe that was me killing the Lionel. I don't know if that was. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, that was me getting like what was it? I think it was like basic Hylian shrooms, probably. What was it that I was getting in that forest? I think it was either Hylian shrooms, like nuts, or hightail. Oh, it was hightail lizards, definitely. Yeah. I think I harmed like a few lizzle tails there? Question mark. I think I had like a hint that there was some sort of enemy there that I could have killed for parts, but I can't remember what it was, and I don't think I found it. Went out and got another electric lizzle. Try to get some Aracuda eyes up here. Yeah, I was kind of doing like back and forth for Aracuda eyes, and I could never really get what I wanted. And now here's the point where the farming like really begins, because this is when I looked up the guide to where ice and fire lizzles spawn in camps, and so I just kind of like went this path, killing them all. And my path is a little bit different than like the exact one that was recommended. I even found that cave and killed those ones, and then I just run the path again in either daytime or nighttime in order to get the other color of lizzle, in order to get both fire and ice. Yeah, see, I since like I ran out of time, I had missed like a couple of spawns there too. Oh, why is it not times to 3 speed again? 3 speed again. I got some like sizzle fins or chill fins, and we got some like ice key swings, and then here I went after electric lizzles, and there's like silver lizzles guarding like half of them, and so they were actually like kind of hard to kill. I think this was me looking for like if any red moblins came up on the tracker, and I don't think any did. But then I think I did end up finding some here though. There's like one back here or something. And there was a couple. Actually, I think it was blue moblins or maybe black moblins. I think actually like I know I haven't like really been talking about, because like usually when I do the mute streams, I'm usually listening to like something in the back as like background noise. And I think I was listening to like stuff on like the American Dad Christmas specials. Yeah, and like here I was listening to something on like the American Dad like Golden Poop saga. I was like in like a train of like those kinds of like videos as I went over here, and I just farmed stealth fin. I think I farmed stealth fin. Yeah, I just skipped the night. And see, it would have been really nice if I had the fishing trawler, but I didn't. And see, like that took me like a whole night just getting like that far. And so then I like came back to like get more around Mekar Island, and I got like basically all the stealth meat I ever needed. And of course, made another stop for more supplies at the Sky Island, because of course I would. Even more stealth fin, apparently. More smother wings. I think that was me getting some basic Riblin horns, question mark. Oh, hold on. Is the stream still going? Is it still going? It was lagging out there for a second. Oh, it's very behind on my phone. I think it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. I thought it cut out again, but no, we're fine. Trying to get Octorox again. I can't remember what I was going for there. I think it might have been Rushrooms or Switch Violets, possibly. Okay, now here's me. Okay, now here is like where it actually begins. Here's me going after the Electric Lizzles and like really setting in my path for Electric Lizzles. There's that one that we just passed by, and that was right next to the Molduga spawn, and I'd often have to kill that Molduga in order to like clear it out. But yeah, this is my like Electric Lizzle path, and then, of course there's like one that was like by like a monster camp that was like a little bit annoying to get every time. But they're all kind of spread out in some of the locations where I thought it said people spotted one. I couldn't find one. There's where a Silver Lizzle killed me. When I was trying to get an Electric Lizzle killed. I tried using the Spirit Temple to get to like, or the Lightning Temple to get to like the one that was back there, but the warp didn't work, and I don't even think there was one back there. It was like a wrong spawn. The other thing, I was killing some like Fire Lizzles, I think it was, in the mountains that we had encountered before, just to get like a couple of extra Fire Tails and Fire Horns. More Headtail Lizards, I'm assuming. Yeah, killing the Lionels again. I kept killing like the Lionels like every blood moon just to like get ahead on the Lionel horns, which I really didn't have to do in the end things. Oh, and also right here, there were Silver Lizzles in the Drazcal like woods and shit that I fought a little bit. I don't know if it was here, but I remember one time the ones in the lake gave me like a lot of shit, and it was mainly because I wasn't wearing the Thunder Helm, and so then I like kind of stopped like throwing them in my farming path for like a while. I think I turned in some upgrades to Bloop there, possibly. Yeah, I was upgrading my suit there. Oh, I was running the Fire and Ice Lizzle path again. Because I was like sick that week. I wasn't nearly as sick as I was in Breath of the Wild when I started doing the mute streams, but I was a bit ill, and so I just felt better doing like some grindy streams, just because. Going for Smother Wings again. And I think I might have even been for. Oh no, wait, no, hold on. I think that this is back to like our live streams. Yeah, because I was going after rare ore deposits on stream and trying to like activate caves. And eventually we got up here, and this Igneo Talos ended up killing me. And granted, this doesn't like super actually count because there's a lot of points where like I probably would have died, but I reloaded the save. Like when if I first encountered the King Gleeok above Eventide, or like a bunch of times fighting that one Lionel at like the border of like Hebra and Tabantha and shit. There's a lot of places that I probably would have died in this game if I didn't reload a save. But like, barring those, this guy was like the last time I got killed by anything. And then there was this shrine that I took forever to like beat. We checked out Gut Check Rock again, missed the Korok that was on top of it though. And then there was that like Igneo Talos that was like in this cave that had like a crystal on its back, and I killed it, and I made like a joke about like, oh, watch a blood moon happen after we kill this Igneo Talos. And then we killed it, and then like a blood moon was like above the like horizon as I was walking out towards the shrine. I just thought that was kind of funny. Oh, and yeah, then I did another mute stream after that. I had like one like talking spring as like a break, then I went back to mute stream and ground out Lizzletails again. Yep. I think I didn't find them there either, and I think that's like the last time I ended up going up there because like there's no Electric Lizzles up there. It says there are on the map on like some of like the online maps and guides and shit, but there's not. There's not, but there's a lot down here. There's a really nice route there, and I think that time I like jutted up there, I think Molduga like started chasing me, and I ran away real fast. I'm pretty sure that happened one of those times. Yeah, and this is me really struggling. That time I went to Harker Lake there, that was me really struggling like, against some electric Lizalfos and not being able to like kill them like at all. Killing the Lionel again, of course. Okay, now this is me running like because we had already been here. This was me running for rare ore deposits, but like funny enough, I just ended up hitting rare ore deposits in like the one bit of Elden we hadn't explored yet. But I just kept kind of like running after them to just get some rare ore. Oh, and that was me. Oh, and this is okay, yeah. Because I don't know if it was in the mute stream or the streamers before. I'm pretty sure it was in the mute stream. I managed to like hit 999 bright bloom seeds, and so this is me going to the fruit simmered pot, cooking all of the bright bloom seeds into simmered fruit, and then selling them to Beetle over and over again just to try and make some kind of profit. And I think this is me. Yeah, this is then I went back into the talking streams, and this was me following that one kid and discovering Minecart Land and doing the Minecart Land mini game over and over again. We actually didn't have to do it like that many times. I can't remember what was in Gorko Tunnel. One of the tunnels had like something like buried underground. Okay, and then this, I'm pretty sure at least, was us talking to the people in Selmy's hut. And it turned out that she was like lost in a cave. And so we ended up going down below Hebros. Funny enough, underneath where the ice Cleoca is, that's kind of dangerous. And we had to like rescue her from that cave. And then she offered to give us shield surfing lessons, and we like did not take them for like a long time. Don't know what we're doing in Kakariko there. Oh, we're turning in some of our Kulton rewards. I don't know when we managed to turn in our last ones, but we managed to get a lot there. Oh, and then here's the bit where we finally decided, okay, we've killed all of the main bosses, except, of course, Hyrule Castle. We've killed, like, all of, like, the major temples and shit. We've done most of the side quests and shit. We discovered a lot of the caves. Now the Yiga aren't going to be that big of a problem. And so this is the point where I finally decided to bite the bullet and fight Master Koga. I had like reloaded the save the first time I encountered him, but there we actually fought him. And after defeating him, it mentioned that the next one was in Gerudo, and so I actually went here back to the Gerudo Canyon, and I climbed up to like the Yiga hideout. I took a detour there, I think for like a Korok. Ended up getting to the Yiga hideout and turned those like a quest to like go inside and actually like talk to them. And we talked to all of them in the Yiga disguise, and they like offered to like sell us like a vehicle. It was like crazy expensive and shit. And eventually I dove down, or did the shrine first, but eventually I dove down into the chasm that Koga fell down originally and found out like, oh hey, there's not actually that much here. Then I worked back up to like go down this one because this one was like closer to the abandoned Gerudo mine, and just kind of like hit some light roots and shit. And we got to the car mine first. I thought it was weird that Koga wasn't there. But then after hitting another light, few light roots, I was like, oh, this is the Gerudo mine is different than the car mine. And then we had there was like the plane mission. The first one was the car mission. This is when Koga was in like the airplane flying above you overhead, and you had to like try and get up to him. And I hadn't like discovered like rocket shields or anything there, so that was actually kind of tough. Then I already had. Yeah, well, here I was just getting more arrows restocked, but I already had the warp to the Lunaru mine, and so after like restocking on arrows, I just warped straight to the Lunaru mine, and then we did the boat fight here in the water, which is one of the harder ones, honestly, because just mobility can limit you a bit. And I can't remember what I was doing here. I think I was trying to figure out where like the trail like picked up again with the statues. Went back to the Yiga hideout for some reason. I can't remember what. Yeah, and then here's the point where it's like I decided to like try and follow the Rito statues before realizing, oh shit, wait, no, it's gonna be completely concealed. And I think we saw like a Hinox here and like a big cliff, and I was like, okay, that's not gonna work. So then we went up to Rito. I started exploring like all like the like cliffs and shit around Rito, like for ages and ages and ages. Eventually went all the way over there to the Dragonbone Mire. Before eventually, I just missed it. Before eventually realizing, oh shit, it's right there. And then I dove underground, and then we fought him in the mech suit in the abandoned Heber mine. It was kind of like a repeat of the Spirit Temple bios fight, which is why I'm kind of glad that I did the Spirit Temple first, because I think that kept up like the cool factor of it. But then we had killed Koga, and we had a lot of batteries to turn in, so we turned in a shit ton of batteries. And then I decided, like, okay, you know what, it's time. Let's go do Hyrule Castle. And so I started exploring like the base, the downward floor of Hyrule Castle. We ended up finding Lockup. I don't think we're quite there yet. Yeah, no, we're still exploring like some of like the outer regions. We kind of explored like a lot of like the outer perimeter of Hyrule Castle. And eventually we managed to discover like Lockup. I think like a like or something was like right there. We got Lockup. There was like a bunch of electric likes, and they gave us like a lot of royal bows, and it was like super cool. And eventually I ended up. I think that it was actually. I think here is when it happened. I ended up cheesing the Phantom Ganon fight because in the first game you had the Stalnox that was guarding the Hylian shield. And in this game that changed to a Phantom Ganon that was guarding something. I can't remember what it was. And you're supposed to blow through the rocks in the ceiling to drop into the prison chamber, but you can still approach like the doors to the prison chamber from the outside. And so I was just spamming my bow, shooting the Gloom Hands and Phantom Ganon from like the outside, and like killing them from outside the jail cell and totally cheesing them. And it was very funny. Eventually, I climbed up to like the highest point, and I used a like vehicle to like glide up and get up to like the second gatehouse. And then we started like going through. We went for the shrine pretty early on, but we had like go like to like the library, and there was like the Hinox, there were the Gibdos in the staircase behind the library. And over here there was a bunch of likes and moblins around Princess Zelda's study. And we had to go to like the underground chamber where it was like the big tall room. I think we went to at one point, and there was just like a moblin like chilling above it that we had to kill. But eventually, there's some weak Lizzles over there because like it was all. So there were also like the Horriblins in like the cave up here, but like it was all like blue and black tier enemies for the most part. But eventually we made it to the Sanctum, and there we teamed up with all the sages except Monera, funny enough, because we weren't supposed to have her yet, to fight the Phantom Ganon in the Sanctum. Actually, I think right now I might be exploring above the Sanctum first before we actually went into it. But yeah, we went into the Sanctum. Yeah, and we've killed him there. We went into the Sanctum. And there was the like special Phantom Ganon fight where you fight multiple Phantom Ganons at once, which was really freaking badass. That was quite cool. I quite liked that fight. But then we talked to like Pura, and she's like, "Oh, you should go look for the 5th stage. Oh, you already have the 5th stage. Oh, then you should go look for the Master Sword. Oh, you already have the Master Sword." I was like, "Ah, shit! I put this off way too long. I should have done this way sooner." Doing some working to buy something apparently. Oh, and then here's the bit where we finally got to the ring ruins now that we'd proved that Zelda was fake, and we talked to Taro and the other dude, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go down to the Skyview Tower," and we talked to him there, and he was like, "Oh, he's over in Draskell Lake," and then I went down, and we talked to him, and I think you can even see the point where it's like, "Oh, he leads us in this cave, and he gives us the first piece of the charge set," and there's like this hint that there's something at the tail of the dragon, and so I went to the end of the river. And there's like a chamber here where it's like, I need to do something special here. I wonder what it is. And so then I spent a while just going to different sky islands, doing shrines, investigating. I think we go to like the luminous stones on this one, just kind of like running all around the map, like places I haven't been before, trying to figure out, okay, where's the rest of the charge set? It's got to be around here somewhere. And I just kept like jumping between like sky island to sky island to sky island. Before eventually realizing and/or looking it up. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. There are caves along the body of the river. You're not supposed to go straight to the tail. You're supposed to follow the river and unlock them on the way. Eventually, I had the full charge set, and we talked to Taro and the other guy, and then like the storm was cleared out from Thunderhead, so we could actually go up there. Yeah, and see, and we actually like tried to do it like legit, starting at the bottom and working our way up, and we did the whole island chain, even though we had already beaten the dungeon for it. There was actually some tough constructs there around that one like lightning rod that you had to use to unlock the chest. We actually killed that Flux construct now. I think that might have been my first Flux construct 3 fight. I'm not sure though. And I was super annoyed by how it teleported all the time. How the weak point would teleport so much. But we managed to finally find that shrine that we were looking for forever. There's some like weird like minecart business underneath some of the islands. We actually explored the dragon a little bit better, and then we just kind of like glided out just to see what it was like. Along like the path back to her chasm to like kind of link things up a little bit, if that makes any sense. I was double checking that Star Island because I thought I had all the Star Islands, but I was missing one. And it turns out that it was like the super high up one. That was like quite difficult to get to. Like I think we already had that one too, maybe, or maybe that was the last one. There's like a super high up one in one of the areas. Yeah, I think that was the last one. We did the little ball puzzle there to get the crystal for the shrine. There was like a launcher that got it like back out of there. Then we went and investigate the sky mine. I can't actually remember what the sky mine was about, what it actually did. Oh yeah. There were the multiple tiers that you had to like rocket up to, and then you had to like launch like yourself and a crystal or something into the ball, and then get it down to the shrine or something like that. And then there was like a little Korok on this island, and then I think here we either built a drone or built a hover bike or stole a drone. I think there was like a drone design. I'm pretty sure that you used to climb up some of these, and I just ended up using that drone to just sail out over to like this little island as like a stopper. And from here I could have gotten to the maze, but instead I went to go kill this construct, which you could also glide up to from below, and that's not too bad. Then I went to investigate that sky island. Now we've hit the point where we kind of start exploring the sky islands, which they're all kind of repetitive and the same. They all kind of like blend together, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, I went after Flux Construct. Oh, that was me checking in with the Lucky Clover Cassette for something. I think I was getting pine cones. I was getting pine cones to help glide up because that was one of the ones that became a platform, and I didn't know that you could use the rewind ability to get up and kill them. That was me trying to glide to like a waterfall, but it was like it ended like sooner than I thought it did, and so I couldn't figure out how to get to this guy. But eventually I got up there. Oh, and then we got up to this island. And this island, from a distance, I thought that this could have been like a Gleeok fight because it was like based on like a medieval tower, and that like screams like dragon vibes to me. But no, you just glide up and fall down the center. And that just felt like very like easy and boring compared to how cool this design was. Not that it was like awful, but it's just like I was kind of hoping for more of how big that sky island was, and it was entirely made of custom models. And then as you're working us up this like giant island chain that's like super high up in the sky and kind of hard to reach. Man, I spent forever in that shrine. Again, just kind of like bouncing around, getting the old chests, getting the flux constructs killed. Doing that one that was far away. I do remember for we'll pause it real quick. I do remember for this guy a blood moon triggering like right after I killed him or something, and I was worried that the loot might reset. And also like getting the bridge over here, you were supposed to use like springs, but it wasn't like launching it quite the right way, and so I ended up like building like a bridge of springs to try to get over there. I thought that was very funny. Now here's the bit where like I struggled forever trying to make like a hover bike to glide up, to try and like, yeah, and you can see like how back and forth it was going. Try and glide up to King Gleeok, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I tried gliding from over here, and I was like, yeah, I know that's not going to make it ever. So I decided to put that off for later. Finally killed this guy at this island. Or no, did we kill him yet? We might not have. We're still just flying around him. I think we forgot to kill that one at that point because we'd already been to that island. We thought we had done it. But I used the Gerudo Tower to get up to the U. And I futzed around. I think it was like an underground chamber, and he had another like crystal. He had to like glide over to this one. I think is what that one's deal was. I was going to ask why it's so slow. That's a slightly annoying thing about the hero's journey mode or in this game is like once you rewind or pause, it resets whatever speed you had set it at. So there's ever points where I'm accidentally going too fast or too slow. That's why. But yeah, let me use like the floating platforms to climb up these guys. See, like I even pressed the button to speed it up, and it didn't speed it up there. Yeah, we used the floating islands to climb up all these guys. I put like a travel medallion down there, and there was the mirror puzzle in the middle of that ball. That was like a very fun mirror puzzle because you had to link them all together. Then I used the warp to like glide over there. And I think I considered going there for like bows or something, better bows, I think, is why I went back to Hyrule Castle there. I also think I ended a stream around that point. We like put our travel medallion, or we didn't need to because there was a warp, but we kind of took yeah, there was me getting more bows. Oh, that was me fighting the Lionel again. Oh, this must have been another mute stream, yeah, because there's me doing the Lizzles again. I don't remember doing another mute stream here, or maybe I did. Or maybe I did it live this time to just like talk about my route. Look how like perfect like my like hero's journey is, like not perfect, but like how close it is, like thickening the lines around those guys. Kind of funny. Yeah. I think that might have been the point where the Molduga noticed me. Maybe. I don't know. And then it's just resuming an actual like talkie streams, and I went down to kill that Flux Construct and get its crystal up here, and like I kind of like fucked up and accidentally dropped the crystal at some point, and I was like, oh, oops. Uh-oh. Was I doing another supply run already? Jesus, I was doing a lot of them. I remember doing a lot of them, but I don't remember them being like this close together. And then, God, was it this place? Yeah, it was this place where we tried to use like the rockets and like the wings to like launch off because we had to somehow reach the high up island. Yeah, we managed to get all the way over to this one. Here's the launch point. Yeah, where there was like the rockets and the upward ramp, and then we used that to like get up here at the bottom, and then we climbed inside, and there was a whole like dark cave that you had to like bring the mirrors through. It wasn't as fun as the other mirror cave, but it was still pretty cool. That it was like a unique thing. Um, then we had to like keep warping to the Skyview Tower. There was like a flux construct that was actually kind of weak there because that was the one that you needed for the quest in in the emergency shelter. Oh, and then I used the warp there because I still had my I think I still had my travel medallion. I think was the deal. Yeah, I still had my travel medallion up here, so I used that to like glide down and get the one above Satori Mountain. Oh, and then Lake Hylia because we forgot to do the one, and then we hit the point where we were kind of like going back and doing some of the Skylands we forgot to, like the one above. Or I think we had done this one, but I was checking if we'd done that one or not. Korok Forest and getting the old chest there, hanging out old chests and shit, potentially in Wellspring Island. Actually, I'm not sure what I was hunting here because I'm going kind of all over the place. I was looking for something in Wellspring. Yeah, and see there we were after like what like 50 hours, 70 hours. Finally went back to get the shrine that we missed on this island. We just completely skipped it after finishing the mini game, which was very silly. But yeah, and there was another old chest there that we had to go to. I was checking if we killed that one or not, and we had.
Not currently. I'm thinking of that.
This would be checking if we killed this one or not, and we had because that was like the one that we killed at like the very start. Maybe that was me finally doing that one. Oh, and there was also an old chest I think in this area too. I think is also what I was trying to pull off there. Maybe I can't super remember. Then here was and then here was me finally going back because we killed all the flux constructs in the sky. It was going back and killing the very first one from the start of the game, which then after that was all done, it felt like fair game to start exploring the depths a little. And it was like a bit of an awkward angle to do this from because of like the big ass cliff. But I ended up like climbing this whole ass cliff to get over it. I think there's like a talus or something there. I was originally going to go for that light route, but then I bailed when I saw how the cliff was. Yeah, you can see we just kind of like kept working our way from like light route to light route, slowly going through the depths. I somehow no, it's not that mine. It's this mine that I missed forever. I'm pretty sure. And there's like Franks down there. This is us finding our first dark skeleton, and we just kind of like glided straight over it. I kind of ignored. Oh yeah, there was a chest I was supposed to get in its like roof. I just went straight for the light route, and this is when I first noticed my first. I guess Goma was the first, but like this is the first time it really clicked for me. Like, oh yeah, you can rematch the mini bosses because we saw Colgera there, and I was like, yeah, not quite yet. And then I actually went back and got the thing in the skull that I had originally wanted to. And then here we go. Here we rematched Colgera using the bow method again, though. I went back to that light route, and then I think I worked back here, even though I really didn't have to. It was about the same distance to kill that Talos. Didn't really have to do that. Originally, it was going to work. Oh no, I'm getting an arrow restock again. That's what's happening. But yeah, and then I started heading this way. And again, somehow I completely missed that there was a Heber Canyon mine down there. We got this Yiga hideout, but I missed that there was a mine. Or no, we did do the mine. What was the mine that I put off and I forgot forever? I can't remember. Oh. Oh, that was me doing that Korok, saving that Korok a little bit on the surface. I think finally with the hot air balloon. Oh, I think that was me getting the Wake Master move because I thought that's how you had to open like the Yiga things. Yeah. Because I thought that was how you open the Yiga things. Because this was like the second Yiga camp I did, and I noticed the red thing, and I was like, I wonder how you do that. And then it was like, when the wake didn't work, then it was like, oh, you had to kill the guys. Actually, I'm going to be right back. I will return in a moment. But yeah, this is me like finally hitting the point of exploring the depths and caves on the surface simultaneously. We did like a bunch of streams like that in a row. Here I found out that route and I saw like, oh, there's another Colgera. I don't feel like fighting it so soon after the other one, so I continued on. I killed the Franks, started like jumping down, hitting light roots in like this like sort of area. I think I completely missed that Yi camp though. Oh, and this was me spotting like the Cliff Bargainer statue in the distance, thinking like, oh, what the hell is that? That looks so cool. And I started working my way up, and I think this was my second. Well, no, because I got the Bargainer statue in Lookout Landing, and then I got the one that was in the Great Central Mine. But the one in Lookout Landing doesn't really count, does it? So this is like technically my second Bargainer statue, and I think it's one of the cooler ones, just up on the cliff, watching over everything. Let me just glide it off of him so we completely missed the freaking frogs that was down there to go get the one of the labyrinth. And now that we hit more light roots, the Gluak Den was a bit better lit up, but I still didn't really check it out. And I remember here is another point where my streams like cut out and I lost footage. But we killed like an obsidian Franks here, and then worked our way down to like get to this light route. And I think I found an ascension point there. Yeah, I found an ascension point. If we go back, I ascended, and it led me like straight to like the hilt of the sword, and I thought that was like a super cool ascension point. I just thought that was like kind of like funny or fun that led you to like such like a out to location. And then I started working my way up around like Elden's Flank, killing a couple of Igneo discovering the skeleton. I think that's around the point where I realized the stream cut out, and so I started it up again. Yeah, just kind of like going around the Caldera, hitting the light roots, getting Igneo Scourge Coliseum. I don't remember doing it that early, but I guess I did. I think that was the Moblin one? Question mark. And this is me struggling around the Elden Mine for forever to try to figure out how to get that light route, but eventually I figured it out. I think that was a Franks or something. Slowly like working my way up, and then I think, is this the place? Yeah, I think this is the place where I noticed, oh shit, there's a Lionel down there. It's like I hadn't encountered like a depths Lionel yet. I knew that there were ones, but I hadn't like encountered one yet. So I took a quick break to the surface to gather like supplies. And then I went down with a bunch of bomb arrows, and I took on my first depths Lionel. And I remember it going like decently well, not amazingly, but it wasn't like super struggling. And then I still do kind of feel like a little bit bad about this. The ancient underground fortress, I just like jumped straight down and like got like the right route, got the chest, and then just warped away. I didn't actually fight the people in the ancient underground fortress, which I just started realizing was under the Citadel ruins. So that kind of makes sense. But like I never really engaged with much fights with monsters in the games in general, and so I think that there's only like once or twice I actually took on the camps of monsters around Zonite deposits that you can mine, and I did not take down the underground fortress, and I do feel a bit bad about that. That's like a kind of like a cool challenge for the game that I didn't end up doing, but I don't really feel like doing it now, even though now I've probably got like all the power and the skills needed to do it. But I think like around here I hit like a Yi camp in Dinral. Like, well, no, it wasn't. Was it here? I can't remember where it was, but somewhere around here I had like a Yiga camp where I was like raiding in Dinral past up ahead, which might have still been like in the last footage. The lake though, I got the footage of though, of me like struggling to like get across this lake over and over again. Yeah. I think there was a reload save, which is why it only looked like I did it twice, but I definitely did it more than that. Oh. This is me starting to explore the surface, I think, at least like to a little degree of like trying to find like caves on the surface that I had missed, and also doing side quests inside of them. I remember there was like one Rito that was like looking for like mushrooms or something. I only remember that because of the adventure log, by the way. Found more ice keys in there. Maybe this was a mute stream actually then. I don't think it was. Oh no, I was looking for the Babol frog. That's right, because I was missing the Babol frog for that one cave. And so I went back to it. Oh, and then here was me discovering the secret mushroom stash before I even knew that was like a thing. I think it was like, I was assuming it was like here. There's the secret mushroom stash, and like I thought like, that's an interesting thing. I wonder why that's there. Not realizing that like there was like a whole quest line that I hadn't activated yet. I think they're. Yeah, and I do remember like skipping past. I had like marked off there was a Korok here that I should have gotten in the area. I'm pretty sure. And then I just completely skipped over it and didn't end up getting it. Oh, that cave is right under that Lionel. Huh, that's kind of neat. Oh yeah, and the big long cave that you like pass through, and then there's like a Talos on this like end that you have to kill for its crystal. That was kind of fun. Oh, and then that was the cave in the original game where like you had to like roll the snowball to like bust like the door open. Yeah. Oh, and I think that there's some kind of boss fight there that we had to do on our way through. I don't super remember it though. Turning up the path, kind of climbing from summit to summit. A little bit harder without Rivali, but like also like kind of easy with Tulin. Um, here's us. Here's me like exploring the area around like where there's that one flame Gleeok, and I think, oh yeah. Here's the first time I actually fought a flame Gleeok, and I was using the spring method. I'm pretty sure of using like the spring to get up and get bullet time. Uh, but then I wasn't sure how to actually, because at this point I'm like 100%. I'm like pretty positive. Yeah, I had gotten the hint that there was a cave in the ancient columns, but I couldn't figure out how to activate it. And so eventually I just bailed and went to the Giza crater instead, and did that like crystal quest. Yeah, it's kind of like weird how like this quest to get this crystal, and then like this quest to get like, the trumpet guy, they're like the exact same quest, and they're like right next to each other, which is so weird. Um, but then I just kept exploring this mountain for a while, trying to find the cave, and eventually I gave up to activate a Satori tree. I think maybe I didn't. Maybe I just went and did other things too. Did the Addison sign there. Checked at the Horse Park ruins. Finally activated a shrine by Satori's Mountain. Oh yeah, we had never been to Satori's Mountain at this point. Yeah, and there was like the apple orchard here, where like an Evermeet attacked me like right away. I mentioned I found like the cave system like underground that's like super like windy with like lots of bloopies. And I mentioned there is like a statue of Satori. Yeah, and once again, I was trying to think like it's definitely there. Maybe we had gotten it at that point. I'm not sure if we did or not. Farming those honey and resources of the lake. Okay, and now here's the point where, at least I'm pretty sure this is the first time it happened. Because like I mean, looking at it now, I definitely encountered Taluses in caves at this point, but I never encountered a Hinox in a cave. And so I walked in here and I saw the size of the cave, and it's like, you know what? It would be cool if there were Hinoxes in caves. This would be a great place to have one. And then there was one in this cool like circle where you like went on like a circular route, and there's like a path in between that you could take back and forth to like sneak around him, and you can end up killing him. Um, You're checking out the garrison ruins. Yeah, we must have done the ancient pillars cave at this point, because that was me like seeing if that was the ruins that where the soldiers gathered. Heading into the ancient tree stump, which was a cave in this game, which is kind of cool. I think there's even a chasm. Was there a chasm to the depths? I can't remember. Maybe there wasn't. But yeah, it was a pretty like nice like winding cave with lots of like branches and like roots to crawl on. It was really cool. Okay, and then I think, was it this shrine? I'm pretty sure it was this shrine. This is the shrine where you have the cave, and then there's like a phantom canyon, and there's like a blessing shrine. And I just like ran straight in and just went straight to the blessing shrine. And then after I saw it was a blessing, I was like, man, I didn't really earn that, did I? And so then I went back and I killed the phantom cannon. And that was one of the few like optional phantom cannons that I actually ended up fighting. At least that early on in the gameplay, you know what I mean? This we're checking out Thunder Plateau, thinking like, oh, that's probably invest in the Mesiel quest, but I haven't done the Citadel one, so I'm not going to do it yet. This is me checking the Satori tree to like unlock the caves in Eldon. I think I went down for like a Korok or something there for a minute. Just kind of like warping around, trying to find all these different caves. Eventually we got the one down there. I don't super remember that one. Maybe, no, I think this was the one. This is the one that was buried underground. Oh, and then there was this guy where you had like the whole like minecart that you sailed around and you killed all the fire keys. Did it really go down there? Oh, wow, really? There? Huh. The chamber felt so much smaller underground compared to what it's like in the surface. But like, here's the bit where you actually go round and round and round, and there's all the moblins and on the center and all the fire keys running around, and you have to hit the switches in order to get to like the little side bit. And then there's like the three like pockets like mining materials, and one of them has a shrine in it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize it was like there. I thought it was like closer to the actual shrine. Like, I mean, like to just to like point things out. I I assumed that the minecart went like whoosh, and then you did circles and circles like here, and then you went to the shrine. But no, it like sends you like on a loop de loop kind of thing, down and up, and then it's like in the middle. That's kind of cool. Oh, was where I lost my place there for a second. And that's me trying to find the caves around Akala, and I could not find it forever. Oh, but I did end up diving into this chasm, and I'm pretty sure this is the first place I ever encountered a flux construct in the depths. And then we passed like very nearly by a few of them before, but that was the first time I actually like realized like, oh shit, that's a flux construct. And we went and killed it. Which is kind of nice. Oh, I was discovering the cave there, which I think this one did not have a Phantom Ganon. No, there was a Phantom Ganon nearby on the surface, but no, the cave did not have one. I can't remember what was in that cave exactly, but I marked a treasure chest, so clearly there was something good there that I didn't end up getting. Okay, and this was just doing the side quest. At least I think this was just doing the side quest. There was like someone at the stable that kept like complaining, like, man, there's a Lionel nearby. That sure is scary. And then either the same person or someone else mentioned, like, wow, a weapon made out of a Lionel horn would be really cool. And so I figured, yeah, let's just go here and let's just kill this Lionel and use its horn to make a weapon for that quest. But we didn't turn it in yet. Then we went to the Skull Lake, and I remember like totally calling it that there'd be a Stalnox in this cave. Or it was like I went in and there was a bunch of stall monsters in a big chasm. It's like, man, it'd be cool if there was a Stalnox down here. And then like I turn around and a Stalnox around the corner, and it was like very funny and very cool. And then went down into the Akala House of Bones, and there was another Stalnox, which was quite fun. And you could argue that I might have screwed myself over here a bit, but like I tried to avoid glitches in this playthrough. Apparently, there's a bug where if you go into bullet time with a multi-shot bow and you fire opals at the rock wall here, you can like overload the game's memory and force it to do a blood moon. So if you ever like needed to kill a specific monster for resources, you could like do that to like force them to appear. But I dug out like a decent bit of that cave anyway, so I'm not sure if this like the glitch would still work. But even if it still worked, I don't think that I would want to use it. I usually don't like using bugs like that. I explored up here a little bit. I think there was like an Addison sign here, and this is one of the ones that I wasn't sure if I had done or not. I think around here we met like a Korok, and then we started like driving the Korok around, and I think like actually like I think around there we disposited the Korok, but then there was like another Korok that needed to reach their friend, and so we used like the same car to like keep carrying them along Elvin's flank, stopping occasionally to fight monsters and shit. And then here's where we met the Leviathan lady, who wanted us to fix the skeletons. We had to put the eye back in the Elden Great skeleton. Maybe not. Here, definitely, though, I think we had a car and a Korok. And we kept going, and then, yeah, we had a car and a Korok, and we kept, like, just driving straight by, and then we crashed into a rock, and the car glitched out a little bit. And I was like, weird that it didn't just roll over that rock. Usually it just rolls over that rock. And then some, like, dramatic music started and the ground started shaking and a Talos burst out of the ground right here and like whacked the car away and the Korok fell off the car and I had to fight the Talos and it was like, oh, that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. But eventually I made my way through like the whole like Elden. And then I decided like since I like didn't have like a super long amount of time in that stream left, but I still had like a bit of time, I decided to like go to the Ice Leviathan statue and do the quest for that one. And have the whole bit where like, oh, what's the finger bone called? Still can't remember. But we had to fix up the Heber skeleton. And then, did I head down to Gerudo straight away? No. Yeah, and then we headed to the Gerudo. And it took me a while to find the cave entrance, but eventually I did. We went down and we did the Sand Leviathan. We fixed its baby. And so we did that whole quest line. Okay, and then I went back here to continue exploring in the depths. Now that we explored the surface world a little bit more, especially into Vantha. And so I actually climbed that one that time. And like, yeah, and there was like 3 or 4 blue-white Franks. Not 4, it was probably just 3. But there was a bunch of blue-white Frankses like basically back to back in this region. And I thought it was like so weird that they weren't like dividing like the difficulty, if that makes any sense. I don't really remember what any of these Yiga camps gave me, though. I think it's a shame that I've already forgotten. Oh. Then we started working our way down here, and originally it was just to hit this light route, but then I found the underground cemetery, and I thought, oh, wow, that's such a cool thing. That's such like a neat like concept, just like a place underground where you find a bunch of Gyptos. It's a bit of a shame that it's one of like, this is one of like the few Like, okay, for one thing, this is one of the few places you can still get Gyptos in the game. They become like very, very rare after you finish the Lightning Temple, which I think is a shame. But then also, if you look at like the Gerudo Desert, there's so much just like big spans of nothing being in the depths. And to be fair, it is still a desert, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But this is one of the most unique like structures in the game, and it's like the only thing in the Gerudo region. But then we did that, and then we had this like chasm, and I was worried like what it could be. Is it a Gibdo, a Coliseum? But no, it was a horribly Coliseum. I think that we actually were attacked by the Gloom Spawn, trying to raid this Dark Skeleton. Eventually, we raided it, and then we just booked it. I just ended up booking it to this ascension point, and then I thought it was kind of funny that like I ascended, and we were right next to the Sand Leviathan Cave, and so I decided to just end the stream there. Is like, oh, nothing happened. What do you mean we explored like a fourth of the depths? Oh, okay. Then we went back down here to go kill this Flux Construct, and go get that light root. Yeah, and then we started exploring back up to the north of Gerudo. And then down to Mount Agate. I remember like, oh, we did kill that Phronx then. I couldn't remember when we did that. But I remember like having it like in the back of my head, like, wow, you can actually like explore Mount Agate in a way. Granted, it's not the whole thing, and it's not actually on the surface, but like this part of Mount Agate, you just can't get to in actual gameplay. But you can get to this part of the depths of Agate Canyon. And so that was kind of cool. I do really like this mine next to like Mount Agate and a Flux Construct and the Queen Gibdo fight, although we didn't have the resources, so we bailed on the Queen Gibdo fight. Just quickly made a detour for that one light route. Oh, this is me gathering supplies again. You can see like my normal like route taking shape. Then we went back down, and I think it was a Lionel. Yeah, there was a Lionel down here that we killed. That was actually like decently lengthy. I can't remember why I went up there. I might have been trying to reach that light route, but it was like a bit of like an awkward path, and so I couldn't quite do it. Oh, and then here's a point where I was like super low on bows, and so I went back to get more royal bows. And then I continued. I think that was a Phronx that we killed to get to that light route. Just glided down to that one. Did we? Wait, hold on. Did we even kill this Flux Construct? I think at this point I had like watched other people's videos, and I realized, oh, you can just grab, or have I? I think I had seen enough to realize that you could grab Flux Constructs and tear them apart a bit, and so maybe we did manage to kill that one very fast, or maybe we just ignored it. I don't know. If it was a Flux Construct one, it would make sense if we killed it super quickly. Oh, is that the? I don't know if that is the one, but I remember there was one of the minecart like Yiga camps where I just like stabbed myself with the minecart, and there we go, killing our Queen Gibdo rematch. There was like one of those like minecart tracks where like I killed the Yiga, but their minecart was still going around the tracks, and it ended up like rolling back and like hitting me and killing me. Okay, now here's the bit where we're going back through and we were finding like all these areas. Actually, I don't know if we had spotted them yet. No, we hadn't noticed them yet. This is where all the regular Phronxes were, but we hadn't really like spotted like any. But we did manage to activate the South Lomai Maze, and we glowed down, and we got that one. I forgot getting that one at that point, but I guess it makes sense that we did. Oh, there's me doing another like in between streams, selling off all my resources to clear out like Bright Blooms. Oh, and then the next stream I used that money to buy the remaining house bits, and I think this was the major house like decor renovation stream where I just like built like a house with basically every like not every unique room because that's not possible, but like all the rooms that I like really cared about getting. Oh, and then here, of course, there's some awkward bits of me trying to figure out where to like go to like fly here. But here we've got me actually starting to do the mazes, where I flew up and activated the Sky Maze's warp, and then I dived down, and then I did the actual like maze, following like the pine cones and the acorns and shit. And then like got the shrines. And actually it was like very funny. I don't remember which one it was, but one of these shrines was a blessing shrine, except it actually wasn't. Because when you activated the blessing shrine, it looked like one, but when you approached the chest, the whole thing like curved, And suddenly there were like things that you had to light to create like a ladder to actually climb to like the exit. And that was a very funny troll. And I thought it was like a shame that the other mazes didn't have similar blessing or trolls. But yeah, but then you dive down to the underground mine, and basically all there is. It's weird that they still call it a labyrinth in the depths, because basically all there is to it is a flux construct fight. There's like a little bit of like hiddenness to the chests, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not much. Then I used like the floating platforms here to help reach this one, and again, I just ended up diving down to do the base version first. It is kind of cool having like multiple like mazes like lined up next to each other, but also two of them are the same maze, and one of them is not even actually a maze; it's just a boss arena. So I think this was me restocking, perhaps. Was I restocking on materials again? Oh, wait, where was I? Yeah, I was using like roughly the same path I did before to get to this island, and then use that to get to the Sky Labyrinth. It wasn't the exact same path, but as you can see, it was like pretty close. And this one was like flooded, which was kind of cool. There's also the whole cave system underground, which I just did there, where there was like a hinox and shit, and that was like pretty cool too. And then of course like the underground chamber that like led to that cave had like a gloom spawn in it, in the room where there used to be all of the guardian turrets, not turrets, but you know the guardians that were like stationary in the depths, or like in that underground chamber in the first game. And of course, like when I first discovered the maze, I went on like the outside and I explored the outside for stuff, and then I had to like warp back to like get back into it. Can't remember what I was trying to glide towards there. Remember what I was doing there? Doing some kind of warping. Oh, this is me checking out some of the cave. I think I was activating the Satori Shrine. This is me doing some of like the caves in Gerudo. Some little underground ones. This was the big chamber with like all of the entrances. That's actually kind of annoying if you're trying to 100% the map, making sure they're all hit. But it was still a cool chamber because you had like all the Gibdos underground, and you had to figure out which. I mean, I say you have to figure out which hole leads to the treasure. I'm pretty sure it was either the first or second hole I fell into was the correct one. I think it was the first one. Was the correct hole. So that was a bit funny. Oh, and I think this is was this the super square mine room with like the boss bokoblin at the bottom and the likes are on the edges? I think that was this one. I remember being there forever trying to figure out what the frog statue did. And then I eventually just left to go do the one down here. I don't even remember. Oh wait, was that the underground sand river? Was that this one? I think that was this one. This one was underground and led to a shrine. And every time it worked to the shrine, I thought it was on the surface, but it's an underground one. Oh, that's when I killed that lion over there. I think that's actually I opened a stream at one point. And there I was exploring all the caves, and then we got to like this one, and this cave was actually a cave in the original Breath of the Wild. And there was like a traveler hiding in the back there, and the Lizalfos attacked him, and that was kind of cool. Oh, and then we went up here to there was like the river with like an Octorok that was actually kind of annoying. That we had to pass by, and we briefly stopped by and we saw another one of those frog statues. And then here's where we got that like 6-wheeled vehicle, and I absolutely fucking loved it. And I used it to like ride up the river and get the Korok and like bring it back down with its friend and like get crystal and activate the shrine and shit like that. Oh, and then there was a cave that led to like the big like circular one at the end that leads up. And then here we glowed over and we saw like another one of the frog statues, and I was like, man, I feel like I should look up what those do because I don't know. And then we found the Yiga clan. Actually, I think that one might have been us finding the Talos room. But one of those two caves was us finding the Yiga Blade Master, who's like, oh, give a banana to each of the frogs. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then we just went to this one because we hadn't activated this cave entrance. We got the banana frog there, and we just kind of kept like warping around and going back to like do all the banana frogs. Because like we had found one of them way before by ascending from the depths, I'm pretty sure. And then we found like the other 4 that night before activating the Blade Master puzzle. We went back to the canyon pass for some reason. Oh, I think it's because I was about to ask, like, hang on, why did I go back here? And I think it's because as we were doing that, we were also picking up all of the like travelers who were lost in the canyon and lost in the mountains. And eventually we had them all, so we brought them back here for like them reuniting with each other. I remember remember reloading a save because I accidentally skipped all their dialogue the first time. Like a very silly fella, quite the silly fella. Oh, we did a little bit of mining in the depths, apparently. Oh, and this is me finally finding. Oh, well, first off, I don't know if I actually went down that well or not. I might have not. But we did end up going in the depths and doing the Ziga camp. That was the one with all the lasers above it that Farosh goes by. We might have been trying to catch Farosh, might be what I was doing there. I was trying to find this. This was the big thing that I was looking for. The like hidden. I always call this a crab island, but it's not a crab island, is it? It's Hiley Island. It just looks so much like the Crab Island and Eldon that I mix them up all the time, even though they're completely different locations. But yeah, we went down here. We used like Mineru to like climb through this area and activate that light route, little hidden world. And then I went back to see if there was anything in that room, and there wasn't really anything. I mean, there was like a one monster camp and one deposit. Passed by here, it's like, oh, there's another Colgera that I think I somehow missed when we were activating the mine, but maybe I didn't notice. And so we killed her. Then there was a passing by here. I'm pretty sure I noticed a Frox to the north, and I was like, I don't feel like fighting a Frox right now. Oh no, we did kill that one. One of these like times in this like area of the depths, there was a Frox that I was just like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. Oh yeah, the water Yiga camp, nearly drowned trying to climb up here and get to this flux construct. Then I tried using the spirit temple to get like a quick warp over there, and it's like turns out like, yeah, no, you can't ascend from it or anything. You do have to go around the back. Did kill a Frox there, though, apparently, so I don't think we have quite hit the one that I skipped yet, then. Yeah, it was actually a little bit spooky down there, like that far like off the map in the grand scheme of things. And it was me upgrading my miner set or something, and we snuck by a bunch of monster camps there to get to this mine. Oh, and then the bandit observation deck. That's another one of like the more unique locations in the depths that I quite liked. Just being able to look out. Shame that you couldn't really look out at much, but still being able to like look out at things. Oh, then there was this mine that I think you had to like climb up to even from the light route, and so it was like super annoying to go back to buy things if you ever wanted to do that. And I completely missed like the Drunzel mine that was like right next to it, which is kind of funny. And then I went and I killed the Flux Construct. Then I worked back to get the light route apparently. Oh, and then I had a travel medallion, yeah. I had a travel medallion because I think that the Crescipit mine was still like slightly unlit, and so I put down a travel medallion to go activate a light route to guarantee it was lit. I think that's what I did there. But yeah, I can't remember if there was a Hinox there or if that was the spiral one. But we had to use like a boat to like get over there to like the tip of the mine. And a little tiny mine. Eventually found the abandoned Tino mine. Activating like a bunch of light routes around the way. I know that was the Yiga camp. Yeah, I do remember hitting this Yiga camp. I keep checking my hero's journey because it's like, did I get that Yiga camp? I did. Did I get that Yiga camp? I did. I remember like checking that one over and over again because it was just a little bit out of the way. And I think there was Yiga decorations on that one in Tino camp, and we ended like a stream before taking it on or something like that. I remember there being some sort of fucky like warp reload business with like this route in this like area, and me trying to get to like this light route down to the south. But I can't remember exactly. Oh, yeah. I put down a travel medallion, dived down to the mine, and used a travel medallion to warp back up. That's what I did. A couple light routes to get the flux construct. I think this was another resource run. Yeah, there's just another resource run here. I tried trying to start to sneak my way around this place. Eventually, I managed to get the secluded Coliseum. I think, was this the Lizalfos one? I think this was the Lizalfos one. Which, funny enough, because of Elemental Lizalfos, the weapons being able to insta-kill, it was actually like surprisingly easy compared to the Boko and Horriblin one. Oh yeah, and I remember this bit where it's like I saw this like Lionel, and I was like, I don't really feel like engaging with it, and so I snuck past the Lionel. And then I think I was like mining something. There was like an ore deposit here, and so I went to mine it. But since I was attacking and facing the Lionel thought I was trying to engage in combat, and so the Lionel wanted to fight me. And so eventually I was like, okay, yeah, I'll fight the Lionel. And then I went and fought the Lionel, and then a bunch of like stall goblins on horseback from nearby decided to intervene with the fight, and it made it way, way harder having so many like moving parties on horseback or running at horse speed, whatever you want to call it. But I got a stall horse out of it that I used to get to the Ziga camp, and then abandoned. And then I went down to did that mine because I had noticed it, but I left it for the Lionel. Um, if you go back here, yeah, and I used the sky tower to like glide down into here to just get that one. I just completely passed over that construct arena. I don't know how I missed that, or if I might have purposely skipped it for later. Yeah, I used the Lunari mine as a cross through to get over back here. Can't remember what I was fighting up there. That was so wobbly. I might have been trying to get south before I realized, oh yeah, that's a wall. I seem to remember using like a hot air balloon that got like stuck on a root here, I think, to get up to this one. At least I think that's what I did. And then I just used it to glide down to the Yiga hideout because that was a little bit easy. And that also lit up the little side islands, but I didn't explore them at that time. I just kind of snuck my way around like the high wall above like everything that could potentially be dangerous to get to that guy. And then a bit of a rough climb to get up there, but I eventually pulled it off. And then a slightly less rough climb the second time to get up here and get to the Yiga camp. And then I used that to glide down to that mine. And then I completely forgot that I worked all the way up to that grove. I think there was like a treasure chest in that grove. Was that a Franx? I think that was a Franx. I do remember using like a hot air balloon or something to glide up like to the ceiling there, and then use my paraglider to glide to this light route, and then I kind of like follow the walls to try and get over here. And I found like I think it was like I can't remember if I was above the one passage to the Terry mine, and I realized I didn't need to climb up, or if there was like two passages and one was like already open, one was like bomb wall. I don't know. But climbing up helped me to like get into the abandoned Terry mine, and we got like the insta cannon to like blow through it. And that's just kind of funny. You can actually see that there is like a whole chamber here that's entire purpose is to teach you that the insta cannon can like blow open a wall, which is kind of cute. Okay, then here, okay, that felt fine and fast, but that might have been the Hinox. I think that was the Hinox. We got to like the wrist mine, and we skipped over most of the monster fights here, but it did let the sages kill the Franxes for some free zonite occasionally. It's kind of cool, like all like the tunnels sticking out the side that didn't actually go anywhere, but it was still like kind of neat to like think about, what could they be? What could they do? That's kind of interesting. And this kind of explains why I didn't like, or maybe it doesn't. I used the warp up here to like reach this chasm to just glide down and fight this, which I think was a Buckdrock. I don't know if it was, but I think that might have been a Muckdrock. It also could have been a Goma. Another supply run. Oh wait, no, we're back. We're back in the depths. And yeah, this had this like weird like sort of like cut through, which I guess, yeah, there is like a bit of a natural land formation, just thinner to like cut through and get through the walls, and then I used it to glide down here and activate that light route. And then, I didn't use that arena yet. I wonder why I skipped that arena. Because I went up there to fight a Franx and then get that light route. But then I didn't do that arena. I wonder why I skipped that at that point. I don't know. Oh, and then here's the bit. Here's the bit where I had like the back-to-back jinxing. We'll talk about each jinx as they happened. I remember this. Where like I was thinking to myself, the stream's actually been running really well right now. I hope the stream doesn't cut out like it's cut out occasionally. And I got like about like here-ish, and then the stream cut out. And I caught it, and I was like, okay, I'll reset the stream. And then I reset the stream, and then I went over here, and we got up here, and we fought like a Lionel up here, and then I like saw this Coliseum in the distance, and I was like, I wonder what could be in that Coliseum. And I think this jinx I did say out loud. It's like, there's no way it could be a Lionel. There's no way they'd make you fight Lionels back to back. And then we got in, and it turns out, yeah, you fight Lionels back to back. So I put down my travel medallion, and I worked away to just go do some other things. I took on this mine. I went on the surface to get some upgrades. And then I think I did some experimenting. Yeah, originally I was gonna try and like walk all the way from like there, but before I realized, oh wait, I have a closer warp in the actual Great Forest. And so I went to this light route and I followed like there was like a trail of bananas in the ground. I was following the trail of bananas and I was like, oh, does that mean that's a Yiga Coliseum? That'd be weird because the Yiga don't have scaling. But what other monster has scaling in this game? I guess a Hinox. And then I got in here and it was a Hinox. Luckily, it was only one Hinox, but you still had to fight a Hinox. And so I like jinxed myself like 3 times in a row there, and I was very embarrassed. And somehow that was one of those interesting ones where it's like somehow I just like completely missed that there was a Yiga camp and a light route right above. Actually, no, this is not the one that I missed. I'm thinking of a boss fight that was like over here, I think. But yeah, even though I had like dived down to like do this Yiga camp like a few times and followed for Roche down there like a few times, I'd never gotten this light route, so I went down to get that light route because I'd somehow missed it entirely. Then I think this like hitting these couple of light routes. I'm not sure exactly when it was. There, I think it was. That was me killing the Franks. That was for a quest line, the emergency shelter. And then I found this bargainer statue, which kind of reminded me like, oh shit, I haven't been looking for the bargainer statues this entire time. So then I just went back up to Lookout Landing, and I think I turned in all the monster fighting quests. Wait, no, did I? No, we hadn't done the Lake Hylia one yet. Yeah, we hadn't done that yet. So then I just dived down here from Kakariko Village to get the abandoned Kakariko mine and that light route. I started working my way up this peninsula. Killed the Talos there. I couldn't remember when I did that. Then we saw there was like a Queen Gibdo fight here, and I was like, man, I don't feel like it. And then I don't know if I saw it, but apparently there was also like a Lionel right here too, and then a Franks, and I skipped the Lionel too, but then I fought the Franks. Just kept booking up to like the mine and the Yiga camp. And then I think I somehow completely mixed that. No, I did get the Fluxon truck. I just went for the light route first. Yeah. And then I worked back here because I think, are we at the point? Yeah, I think we're at the point where I'd explored most of the depths, and so I was like going back. Maybe we're not quite at that point yet, but I think this was around the point where like I was consulting like the Zelda dungeon to figure out which ones that I had missed. And so I was jumping back to like a couple of like miscellaneous like mines that I had missed. And boss fights that I had missed. I was handing in stuff to Colton there. I think that might have been me handing in like the last of the bubble gems. I'm not sure if we had every cave at that point, but we were getting close. That was like I noticed where the bargainer statues were on the map, and so I went to and get those two. And then I think it was something like I had spotted the Well of Wisdom one and the Well of Courage ones, and I'd marked them to go do on the stream. But then after doing them, I realized, like, hey, wait a minute, I'm still missing one. But hold on, if there's one in the Spring of Courage, the Spring of Wisdom, there must be one at the Spring of Power. And so then I went there and I got that one. Sorry, I wasn't like zoomed in the same degree as I normally was there. I accidentally toggled display? Hold on. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Yeah, I went to like the Spring of Courage, Spring of Wisdom, and then went up to the Wellspring of Power. And it was kind of funny where it's like, I noticed there was like an altar with like a charged chest at the Spring of Courage, but then I forgot to look for that when we went to the Wisdom and Power ones. But I don't think that there are ones there anyway, so we're fine. Then I started exploring like Northern Hyrule. Got the little mine up there. I think there were a couple of mini bosses we killed up here, but I can't remember exactly who. We just kind of like ran from light to right route. I was honestly kind of surprised. I don't know if I voiced it at the time. I was kind of surprised that there was no like passage from like the north of central Hyrule up to the big pit under Hyrule Castle. Because like that, in the grand scheme of things, that wouldn't much change the way that you entered it, you know? But still, I thought it was like a little bit odd, like, oh, hang on, there's not a thing there. That's weird. And then this was me trying to find, I think I hit the Satori tree to activate a cave, and I was trying for forever to find the chasm here, and the Gloom Hands kept going in the way. Getting in the way of trying to get it. And I managed to get the shrine, but I thought it was going to be in a cave, and so I kept looking for a cave over and over again, and I couldn't find it. I tried activating, because that one shrine was underground, so I had to work for that one instead. Oh, did we actually fight this gloom spawn? I don't think we did. I thought we just ran from it. Maybe there was a quark there. So I activated that one because I thought maybe it's a cave that's in the Elden region technically, but no. And then eventually I just caved and looked it up. We started like following the coastline. We hit the point where the gloom spawn had attacked us. And it was like, oh, he attacked us like right before the cutoff. But then I went past the cutoff, and then I went down, and then I managed to find it. And it led you like right on top of a blue right Franks. But then there was a light route. And I honestly have to say, it's a little bit weird just gonna throw this out there. It's a little bit weird that both of these side island things have blue light Fronxes in them and chasms to enter that are hidden on the surface, but only one of them has a shrine and a light root. That feels weird to me. I don't know why that's the case. Okay, and then here was me doing like a little bit of like a quick thing because I was kind of scared to do this in the first place, but this was the only light root I was missing in the entire depths, and I was like, it's such a fitting one to do last anyway, and I do want to hit 100% before I go fight Ganondorf, so I might as well go after it. And so they went and I got this light root and I finished the depths map, and I was so worried that I'd accidentally triggered the fight or something, but no, I was fine. It was okay. Okay, and then here, rewind a little bit. Here was my first actual fight against the Flame Gleeok on the Bridge of Hylia. We had already killed a Flame Gleeok, and I think we might have killed a Thunder one, but I don't think we did. So I killed that one, and so that was quite nice. And now here was me exploring like the wells, the beneath Della Village ruins, which that was like the first ruins I explored in Breath of the Wild. So it was like very nostalgic to me. But yeah, going down into all of the wells, and there was like an interconnected like cave system to meet them with like a luminous Talos and shit. Now here is where I actually ended up doing the shrine. It's so weird that I missed it earlier because my hero's journey was right on it, and it took me forever to figure out what I was supposed to do here. But you just had to like go get some blocks of ice from the river and like melt them to the correct size to like plug into like the altar. Was all you had to do. You see, I did a lot of trips back and forth though. And then was it in the sky here? Yeah, it was in the sky. And then I flew down to fight this Flame Gleeok on Spectacle Rock because it was one of like the few Flame Gleeoks that was missing. Yeah, we hit the point where I started like being able to comfortably kill the Gleeoks. I think I had incorporated the scaffolding method by this point, but I'm not positive. I think I did. Yeah, and then here's my first Thunder Gleeok kill in the Colosseum ruins. But I forgot. I either forgot or I didn't realize that that's where the Misko quest was, and so I didn't actually go in the cave yet, which was a big oops on my part. Then I tried exploring the Dueling Peaks to try and get to these two caves, and it was a bit of a roundabout process, but eventually I figured it out. Fortunately, I managed to do this puzzle before I got the Misko hint, which is kind of funny. But unfortunately, I entered the cave where you were supposed to give the solution before I got the cave where you were given the answer, and so I had to like do a lot of like back and forth thing. But eventually, I managed to figure it out, and then I headed down the mountain to do that cave and that shrine. I think we killed like a Hinox or a Talos. I think it was a Hinox on like the mountain on the way down. I might have caved and looked up where caved question. This might have been after I caved and looked up where the missing caves were. But this was the one with all the luminous stones that cut straight through the mountain. And like I remember, I don't know if it was when we first visited it, but I remember one of the times that we went to it, a blood moon hit. Where like we went in and we killed like basically all the monsters there, including cheesing a silver Horiblin by shooting it into the water, and it just drowned, and we got its horn. And then a blood moon hit. And so we just killed that silver Horiblin the same way again, and just got like 2 silver Horiblin horns for free, which that's a pretty good weapon. Then I think I was struggling to find that one for the longest time. Oh no! I did find that one pretty quick. Yeah, I can't remember if this was at the start of the stream or if I did a stream halfway through it, but this was me exploring some of those excavation sites. All these caves have like excavation sites in them, which was kind of cool. Each of them had their own little like Zonai puzzle, which I thought was like pretty clever and interesting. And now, like thinking back on it, it is actually really cool that the Zonai ruins have the most like Zonai puzzles compared to all the surface caves. That does make sense. I think this was me taking on that Lionel, maybe I just ran past it, but I think I took on the Lionel that was in the area. And then we went to these 3 caves. I guess 5 caves, question mark. But okay, I think that was probably me killing. No, there's me killing the Lionel. But yeah, we went to like all these different caves, and the 3 Hinox brothers were in these caves. They returned from the original game. I think we were given the quest before this, but I hadn't gone up here yet, or I hadn't realized really. But yeah, we went up and we killed all 3 Hinox brothers, and then we went down to the stable. And it struggled to find the guy again, but we struggled to find the guy a bit, but eventually we found him and we turned in the quest. I don't know if we like barely dodged the Phantom Ganon here. I'm not sure if we encountered it or not, but apparently there was a Phantom Ganon here. And this was the cave where like it would like flood and like drain occasionally. And I used my like scaffolding auto build to like cheese it a little bit to get up high. Just in with our Dons, got the loot. It took me forever to find this cave because I was like staring right at it like 3 or 4 times. I was staring at that cave, like right at that cave, like 3 or 4 times, and I kept like forgetting, like not realizing it was there. But then I decided to like bail and just go kill this Thunder Gleeok. And then I activated the Satori tree. And then on my way back, I ended up like perfectly using up like there was like a Talos here, and they ended up. I only remember this because of my notes. I did like a spin attack, and the spin attack, me running out of stamina, just barely stopped right before I started using my yellow stamina wheel, and it like broke the weapon and killed the Talos or something like that. It was like this crazy like lineup of events, and it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Um, but yeah, even with the light, it still took me a while. But eventually, I got this cave and I found it. Um, Can't remember why I was like traveling the coastline. I think I was on horseback the entire time. Oh yeah, and then I came up there and I put a travel medallion down because you needed to take a picture at sunset, but it was like or sunrise, but it was like the middle of the day or something. Uh, and then I also climbed this mountain just because I figure like, oh, if I'm climbing the Heart Mountain, I might as well check on the Heartbreak. Oh, that's why. I was saying in like a previous stream, like, oh, well, is it under Tuft Mountain? But no, it was and I said like, oh, I said like, oh, is it under Ebon Mountain? And I looked and it was like, oh, it was Tuft Mountain. Where did I get Ebon from? And this is where I got Ebon from. The counterpart is Ebon Mountain. That makes sense. But yeah, I hadn't checked out this mountain yet in the game, so I decided to check it out while we are like in like the topic. I just used the Skyview Tower, yeah, to like glide over and get down to the Lunaru sort of cave system. And it was like, and like I entered this cave thinking, ooh, is this something new? Is this something interesting? And it turns out it was just like another entrance to the same cave system where I already had that shrine, which was kind of funny. I wasn't entirely sure how I missed it, but I missed it somehow. Was that the one? No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Then I managed to finally find this cave and this complicated like path beneath it because it's like under the entire mountain. Came out of like fought like a Talos there that I actually struggled with a bit. I don't know if it was raining or I was just being stupid. But eventually I found the shrine, and that shrine that had been giving me so much trouble for like so long in the game. I just glided straight down to that one, and that one was easy enough. Then I found this. This one was also one that took me a while to find, but then when I found it, I couldn't figure out how to activate it. So I just left in order to do the cave. Okay, now this is the one that I was just thinking of. This is the long cave where there's like all of the like ice likes along the walls, and there's a decent amount of rare ore deposits, but then there's also like a silver boss bokoblin and his crew like patrolling one side, and I somehow like barely missed them like both times that I went through here. But yeah, there's this whole like lengthy long cave down there. Oh, and then here's the point where I like found this cave and I went in, and there was the bottle message guy that you had like free from the cave, and like I had not gotten any of his bottle messages, and I feel like a little bit bad about like doing that before actually activating the quest, but whatever. Sometimes those things happen. And then I was checking this place because it was like, oh, it's weird there's not a Talos here anymore. And I knew there was like a Wizrobe that we killed or some Aracudas or something there on the way to this cave and that shrine, which I completely forgot what happened with that cave and that shrine, but they're there. They sure as hell are there. Just gonna be restocking again. Throwing in Goron City this time for that restock. Hold on. And this is me like using like the Skyview Tower to like glide down and try and check out the cave like here and like the navel. I think there was even like a Korok in the area too. I didn't realize that that's where that cave system led. I guess it makes sense. And I just glided out to go to this cave, and there was definitely a Korok here. But I didn't feel like carrying it over yet, so I didn't. And I just did some of like the other Koroks that were like in the area. Oh no, I went straight to that cave. That must be later I'm thinking of then. I don't even remember what was in that cave. But it was kind of cool that it was behind the like cursed statues. I think there was some sort of like method to unlock the cave that you had to do. That wasn't like identical to the cursed mountain thing, cursed statue thing, but like it was like a tribute or reference to it, you know. Okay, and then this cave, and this one was kind of funny. Because I used my instant scaffolding to like get up and into this cave, and then I just kind of like killed the bullfrog, grabbed the gem, and then just dipped. And since I never went through the actual cave entrance, this cave did not end up marked on my map, and that was something that like, threw me for like a while while trying to figure out which caves I was missing. Because I went everywhere in the cave except for the entrance, and so that was enough for it to not count. Oh, I was trying to find this cave in Kakariko. I think it was This one, this cave, I'm pretty sure is what I was looking for. Um, and I climbed up this like cliff, and like Niger was flying overhead, and I was like, oh, can I get a Niger part? And I was trying like so hard to get the Niger part that I wanted, and I got the completely wrong part, and I was like, oh well. Then I glided down here to like kill this Lionel. I remember like supper time being called or something, like around this time. Killed the Lionel and like did the sort of like rotate the like pillar thing to make the shadow line up on the wall correctly to activate that shrine. Yeah. Um, oh, this is me liberating the Citadel, killing its Thunder Gleok. Discovering some caves underneath Lenaru. Kind of gliding. Yeah, I think I found that one naturally, and then I glowed down to like try and like get like the tree, to like find out where the other ones were, and like, oh yeah, that okay. So those two are linked up. Okay, that's an interesting like bypass. And I think I ascended up and then glowed down to those two, which I think those two are linked. But I glowed down to like this skull, and I remember it taking a while for me to find all of the cave entrances in this skull. But I used Ascension a lot to try and cheese it. I also missed a lot of Koroks, funny enough. I think I glowed over for like an Addison sign or something there on the other side of the river that I spotted. Hit a couple of caves there. I think one of them was like, I think one of those two caves, I'm pretty sure. I think it was this one, where like you had like an offshoot to the right with like some planks of wood and shit, and then just a river sort of section that went straight back to like a little rounded bit. But then you grab a plank of wood and you put them in the round bit of water and then stand on it and ascend, and then that leads you to where the bullfrog and the treasure is. There's me checking in on the mountain to see if sunrise happened yet. I still don't think it had. Oh, was that me? Was that me discovering the Lizalfos up on top of this place, or was that just a cave system? Because I'm pretty sure I went into the Lotus channel there, but maybe not. That might have been finally finding those two Lizals up where Valruda used to perch. I remember there being some Lizals guarding the entrance to that cave, but I don't remember what was inside. Oh, and then here's the Talos. Here's that weird situation where there's like the cave down here, and you enter it, and there's like a Talos fight inside the cave. But then also, there's a Talos fight up on this hill. And so it looks like there's two Talos right next to each other on like any map, but actually one's like above the other. And then I went over to this cave, which had like a Hinox in it, and linked up to like over there, and it's like, oh, that's how you're supposed to get over to like that shrine. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Although later on I went back there again because I wasn't sure if I killed that Hinox or not, and I couldn't find it for a while, even though I'd already done it. This is me finally going back for this cave. They even comment on like, oh, I'm sure there's something there, and there was something there, and I just missed it. Okay, now this was, I'm pretty sure, it took me a while to find it. This was me finding the cave that was like under like the top of Akala Citadel, and then even though I found it, I forgot to get the bullfrog and or missed the bullfrog, and so I didn't end up getting the bullfrog. Oh, okay, this is actually very interesting. Here's like a little bit of an insight to off-stream me. What happened here is I warped in, and I think I was actually listening to like a Deltarune video. About like the ads that you get in the second chapter, and I was just running back and forth selling bright blooms, like churning them up into like fruit, like simmered fruit, and then selling them for money again. I tried to do it in a different location, just to like not put up with the beetle messages every time you have a beetle in your pack. Oh, and I think this is me the first time I tried to like use the Skyview Towers to find the light dragon, and I'm pretty sure she was at like literally like the last one I checked, which was kind of funny. But yeah, this was the first time I tried to like find a dragon like using the Skyview Towers. Oh, and yeah, and I think this was it. Me like gliding over and getting her and getting one of her parts. Oh, I can't remember why I went to like Cast Island there. I just can't remember. I went down to the depths here. Huh. Oh, I think I was looking for a soldier's claymore. Yeah, I was looking for a soldier's claymore. And eventually I found one. And then I went and did the Coliseum runs again. I killed the Thunder Gleok again to actually unlock the cave in the back. And I even had to activate the story tree because I couldn't quite find the cave entrance. I wasn't quite sure where it was, if I was still in the right place or not. But I got it. That's the important thing. This is me just gliding around exploring. I'm not sure what I was doing there. Okay, this was me heading to the Thunder Plateau now that I had the last hint and I could actually like do what I was supposed to do there. I had like lined up like the pillars and the shadows. Go over there and turn around. What was that about? Oh, I was definitely riding a dragon there then. Yeah, because I was taking like occasional breaks to go find the white dragon, and luckily now I kind of like knew roughly where she was. Okay, now here's me doing the Krennel Peak ones. They're all kind of next to each other. These two I think were the same cave system technically, and they were linked up. But there was this little guy down there. Oh, there's a shrine. Another shrine. Climbed up. Whenever I did this shrine. Trying to do some kind of gliding thing there. Oh, was I looking for the? I was looking for a dragon again, maybe. Okay, yeah. Oh, and actually, I think I know where this is. Um, this was me, finally, like landing on Dinral, and this was me like riding Dinral around this path, actually moving very quickly. Funny enough, I'm surprised how fast it's moving. Um, but this is me riding Dinral along their path while I ranted about Bionicle for like a long time. Um, Oh, it's actually a very pretty and smooth path. Like looking at it now, they are quite elegant. The dragons, I suppose. And the Dinral, oh, that was a bit of a jump. And the Dinral had such like a long path compared to the other two. It's kind of crazy, like how long Dinral's path is. But it does follow the light routes pretty well, which is kind of cool. Oh, I didn't know she passed over the river. I don't remember that. Guess it shows how much attention I was actually paying. But yeah. Oh, hold on. This, I think, was me finally getting the picture of Satori, because I think I looked it up between sessions whether or not Satori still spawned in the game and what his spawn conditions were, and it's like, oh no, you can't get Satori anymore. So I just got the picture of the cherry tree without him, which I thought was like a bit of a bummer, but whatever. At least me trying to find that cave, killing a Talos, I think. There too. Oh no, there was a bunch of like rock walls, aren't there, in this cave? It was like an underground shrine in the cave, and there's a bunch of rock walls you have to like mine through, and like a bit of like an underground maze in order to like reach it. Which I think. I spent a while in that shrine. Oh, hold on. This is me going back up here to try and like glide and try and land on Mount Agate, and then I couldn't, and it was like, ah, oh, damn it, oh well. And so then I just went and activated the shrine anyway. I had to do the caves again. Flew over to try and find that shrine, and ended up discovering, oh, it's not in a cave, it's in a well. I went down the well to get that shrine, which is kind of cool. I think, isn't that the one? Yeah, I'm pretty positive that the one. This is the one where the well is like completely pitch black dark, and there's like a fire like and some luminous stones. I think that's that one because I've been back to that one for farming a few times. Oh, this is me trying to find any missing like caves in the Great Plateau, and eventually realized, oh, there is one behind the treasure stash in the waterfall. I just somehow completely missed it. It blended in with the wall a little bit. Um, that was, I think that actually was that. I think that might have been my last shrine. I'm pretty sure that this was like one of, if not my last shrine that I did in the game. And then told me to go to the Temple of Time. So I went to that Temple of Time before realizing, oh, wait, no, that's the wrong Temple of Time. They mean this one. And then I got my Ancient Heroes aspect and revisited the sword place just for the rules of it. Here's me trying to find the Flame Gleeok, and I couldn't find it, but I think I found like Korok or something. Don't know why I'm visiting all the stables. Oh, and here is me finally taking on this Frost Gleeok. This is like my first Frost Gleeok kill. And I actually struggled a lot with this one. I think I was still using the scaffolding method, though, and so that, like, kind of explains it. And I was checking the Skyview Towers again, trying to find the dragons. I ended up finding them there. That was probably Ferocia, actually, I found there, wasn't it? Oh, this is me talking to Colton, I think. Where I was like, I think I've gotten every cave. And then went to talk to Colton. And then he was like, oh, you're missing just one. And I was like, oh, shit, where am I missing one? Or no, I was definitely missing more. I was just checking in. Check progress. Okay, this is me finally meeting the twins that gave the hints to Misko's caves after I had already found like most of them. And the dog wasn't like following me, and so I did just end up brute forcing the chests to try and figure out what chest had the treasure in it. Eventually, they gave me some like hints on like what to do for some of the other like cave puzzles. Checking for the dragon again. Oh, she was all the way over there. Oh, and this was me. This was at the point where I caved and looked up what quest I was missing, and there was like, oh, there's one in the flight range, and it's like, oh, Kennelly, that name sounds familiar, right? I know Kennelly. And then it turned out like the owl chief was like still alive, and it's like, oh, he's running the flight range now. Oh, that's so cool. And then I also went to get that well, while I was like in the area. Okay, this was me climbing the Grito summit to go take on the Frostgleok that was like by the sword. Was it really there? I guess it must have been. And then I went to get that cave while I was in the area too. I can't remember if I actually got the picture of the sword though. I might have forgotten to do that. Then we went to the 8th heroine cave. I'm not sure why I didn't go in it. It didn't look like I went in it there, didn't it? Maybe I was dragon because I'm dragon farming here. Yeah, I think I just took a break to farm the light dragon a little. But yeah, I did eventually get the light puzzle figured out and got in there. Kind of like a big room, if I remember right, in there. It was like a little like side bit with the bullfrog, wasn't it? Now I had the hints. I knew how to beat this cave, and so I went down. I still wasn't quite sure how to do it, and then I was like, once I got there, I was like, oh wait, duh! I just whistle. That's a little button in the game. I don't have to figure out some sort of contraption to make it like a windy noise. I can just whistle, and so then I just whistled, and there was the underground pirate ship, which was quite fun to clear out. Then I glowed over to that island, got the one Korok, and got the boat. And originally I was like patting myself on the back. I remember to get the Koroks before I left that island, and I missed a Korok. But that reactivated the shop in Lurlin where they give you like free stuff, which is kind of nice. Oh, I think I was doing one of the dragons there again. Oh, and here I was going to Mount Granage. I think I was actually trying to get to Mount Granage, and I found a different spot. Actually, let's watch this. Let's watch this in a basic speed. Hold on. Put on basic speed 1. The bit of Zelda where you just have to hold still for 20 minutes. Isn't that such engaging and exciting gameplay? You can see a little wiggle there when we had to transition into like the daytime version of the challenge. But yeah, the test of endurance is just stand still. But then I went down to explore here. We got a couple of Koroks on the way. And then I went down to this little chasm thing, which I didn't spend much time there at all. But I can almost bet you, I don't really know if I want to, but I'm going to bet you that there's more green from a hero's journey in this canyon than in my Breath of the Wild save. I can almost guarantee, because that's such like an out there, out of the way place. I think I was handing in pictures of the stables, maybe. Okay, here's me killing that other Frostgleok. I don't think it gave me that as much trouble as the first one, but it gave me a bit of trouble. Oh, hold on. And then this was me checking out this cave, because like I heard that there was a quest there, and I couldn't find the quest. So I was like, huh, it's weird that there's no quest in that cave. It says there's a quest supposed to be there, so I must be missing something. And then I found the Mushroom Girls here, and we did a little quest in this cave for the Mushroom Girls and got like the piece of the Misko armor that I completely forgot that I had got. But because I didn't sort my armor inventory, I had not realized I already had, and I kept looking for it later on. But then that activated them, so now that they were up here, and we could I went to the cave to talk to them, and it's like, oh no, wait, no, they're about to. I went back to the stable, and then I talked to them, and I warped back to the cave, and then I did the quest in the cave, and then it's like, okay, now the second part of the quest is done. And they mentioned like the Mushroom Haven, and I'm like, oh, I already found that. I already know where that is. I used like the Sky Islands to get over here quick, and just went back to the Mushroom Cave. Yeah, it was the little side bit there. Yeah, the little Mushroom Haven, which is a very cool thing, like gameplay wise, even to have. And then here was me finally figuring out where that flame Gleok was, the one that was in the sky, and I shot him down. But it was really hard using the scaffolding method here because the ground was uneven. But I killed him eventually. Then I went over here and I felt like a bit like, I don't know if I felt it at the time, but now I do. I'm kind of kicking myself for not going down and doing this after I did the test of endurance because they're right next to each other. But yeah, I went down here. There's like a Talos up on that cliff. There was like an Addison sign down there. Then over here where there was the cooking lady in the first game, there was like a mess of like tumbleweeds that you had to like clean out. And I think that's the point where like I officially, because I'd already like had it in the back of my head of like, oh, that's got to be how it works. But that was the place where like I officially like confirmed that like, yeah, there's a limit to how many things you can stick together with Ultra Hand, which makes sense. It's a Nintendo game. But then we went for that last little Korok over there. I think I was farming the Sky Dragon. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Here we are. And this is when I started riding on Feroche. He's kind of like dipping above the sky and the ground there a little bit. Weird that he slows down so much over Lake Hylia. She slows down. Did you see that? If I rewind, look at how fast Feroche moves here, and then how slow they move here. That's interesting. But they have a bit of a funky depths path that they take. Just kind of like hugging Lake Hylia's like rock wall. Almost getting to actually, hang on. How close does it get to the Drasco River? Yeah, it goes pretty close to the Drasco River. Actually, I mean, I guess it is broken up on the surface too, but the Drasco River is not like a solid like block of wall in the depths, which is kind of interesting. And also, the Construct Factory, the Drasco Altar, and the Spirit Temple are all linked up to the Drasco River. I didn't really clock that before. That's interesting. But yeah, and then she just kind of like slurps past the Labyrinth, and then back up into the sky, and over Gerudo, and see. Oh yeah, she does speed up a bit around here. That's interesting. I wonder why she does that. And slows back down with Lake Hylia. And then I just decided to like, you know what, screw it. We got time. That didn't take as long as Dinral took. I want to find Nidra, and I want to do this for Nidra too. And she was a bit hard to catch. I think I had to use some like auto build devices, but eventually we caught Nidra. She's got a bit of a shorter path, at least in my opinion, compared to the other ones, the other two. I think time-wise it takes the same as Feroche, but she doesn't cover like as much ground as Feroche, at least IMO. But you just kind of circle over like basically the entire starting area of the original game, which is kind of cool. And also flies you straight over a boss rematch, which again is kind of cool. I think this was me doing the Sun Pumpkins quest, I'm pretty sure. We had to kill all the skeletons. I think that was that. Oh, okay. And this was my first attempt at finding a King Gliok. And by this point, well, I already knew the shield method by a couple of Glioks at this point, but this was the first time I wanted to try the shield method of finding a Gliok. And funny enough, it allowed me to actually do that one hitless, which I thought was pretty cool. I like how you can also, again, like Hero's Journey is kind of fun. I like how you can see me. Okay, now he's dead. Grab the chest, and we're done. You know, that's just kind of funny. Oh, was I think I was chasing Dinral here. Yeah, I want to just like apart from Dinral. Oh, and this was me doing that little mission where there was the Rito and like the Aracudas had like stolen the food, and they were like around like the tree, and you had to get the food back. I also went down for this well here. I think that might have been me getting like the next part of the swirly things quest. I'm not sure though. Oh, this was me gliding and using like the floating platforms to get to this King Gliok, which I also managed to kill hitless, which was quite nice. Oh, and this was me like looking around for the wife wafted away again, which I think, yeah, I did manage to find eventually. I'm not sure if we found her there or not. I ended up looking it up and said like follow the campfire smoke, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Why wasn't I already doing that? Okay, that was me getting the swirly sand picture. Oh, you guys see, I got the whirly. What just happened there on my hero's journey is I went to Wellspring Island to get the picture of the swirling water, Then I went and talked to the Korok. Then I went to the Karkar Bazaar to go get a picture of Swirling Sand, and then we finished the quest of the Korok. That's what just happened. Okay. Oh, and here I think, is this the bit or no? Oh, nope. No, I was getting more rockets. This is me trying to find which island had rockets because I was like out of like rockets. But here is me building, I think. Oh, still not. Where did I end up going? Oh, I was getting a good weapon from the depths, I think, from the depths labyrinth. I think was that what just happened there? Yeah, I was getting a good weapon from the depths labyrinth. And then I built. Still no? Oh no, I did some more cave exploring. Okay, I couldn't. I'm not sure when it was. I ended up doing that one. But then we found this big ass underground river that like passed right. Oh, because that's where that luminous talus was that I kept like seeing like, oh, did we do that one on the map or not? Yeah, it was there. It wasn't through these caves. It was through that cave. But yeah, it was the big ass luminous talus. I think there was even like a pretty strong Horiblin camp along like a river. And then there was like a Korok with like a flower Korok puzzle in that place. And then like after I'd gone through the whole cave, I realized, oh wait, hold on, there's a well and a quest, or there's a well up here. I don't know if I realized the quest was in there or not yet, but I was like, oh wait, there's a well up here we haven't done. So I went up there, and then we went the rotten food lady, the lady that couldn't cook in the original game. Then I just ended up walking my way up to get some of the wells up here. I think there was a Stallnox underneath this. There was like a boss bokoblin above ground guarding this well, and then in the actual well there was a Stallnox that you had to fight, and so that was kind of cool. They lined those up together. Oh, and then I spent forever at the Maroon Garrison trying to figure out how to get the chest in the wall, and it turned out to be just like classic Zelda puzzle, just bomb the wall. Oh, there's the guy that was stuck underground, and you needed to fix the ladder to get him out. And I like made a note at the stable of like, oh, someone's missing by that bridge, and I just did not realize that was an actual quest. But eventually I went and did it, and so it worked out in the end. I think I was killing. I think a Lizzo like attacked me while I was like on horseback or something. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, we'll fight it. I think that's what happens here. But we ended up talking to like the twins there again, and doing some sort of quest for them. I think it was getting a chest in the middle of the water. I think that's what happened there. But I also spent a long time looking for Koroks around those caves in that well. Oh. Going back up to Courage Island for some reason. I can't remember why I'm up there. I think that was me harvesting honey or something? Question mark? Oh, that was me getting the picture of the smiling rock. Did you see that? I think this was me getting the picture of the smiling rock, or at least trying to. Yeah, see, because I'd already been there to try to get the picture. This was me actually getting the picture, where it's like I went to the exact same spot, and it didn't work last time. But it worked this time, somehow. So I managed to turn that one in. Yeah, I think most of these last couple of things have been going to a picture location and getting the picture. That was me getting the picture of the geoglyph, I think. This is me getting the picture of the bird from Toronto Peak and turning that one in. Okay. I was going a bit faster, and so I definitely missed some of the pictures that I was turning in for a second there. This one, I think I wanted a picture of like the Daruk statue or the Goron Hot Springs. That was like one of those. One of the Terrytown Bell. This is me going to this cave for the first time and finding like the picture of like the moon in the daylight, which we then turned into the two old Gorons up there. We also did that dive puzzle over and over again because it was kind of like struggling to figure that one out somehow. What was this picture for? What did we need a picture of for here? I don't remember. I don't remember what we turned in there. We turned in something there. When I did that cave again, I'm assuming that I forgot that I did it. And then we were going to go after I did that. Oh no, we missed the bullfrog. That was the problem. We had done the cave, but we had missed the bullfrog completely. And then I think it like I don't know if it went all the way to this woods, but we ascended up after following like the path of the bullfrog, And then it's like, oh, there's a battle talus up there. I'll go kill it. Or I think it was a regular talus. Not even a battle talus. I think it was a battle talus. But then I started walking towards it, and then it started raining. And it's like, nah, I don't want to fight a talus in the rain. You can see like the moment where I'm like, nah, just no, thank you. And just went over to do this well instead, and checked back in on the floor at Samba, so seeing how Flower Blight was doing. This well is actually a chasm, which is kind of cool. Doesn't really lead out to much that interesting, but it is cool that there's a bunch of wells that turn out to be chasms. Okay, this was us. I was gonna fight like this Hinox that was here, and then it was a Stalmox, and it felt so bad. Like, oh, the last two mini bosses I said I was gonna fight, we ended up engaging with. But then we went to the Sage Temple ruins, and again, I would have forgotten this if it wasn't for my notes. Because like in the original Breath of the Wild, this ruin gave me absolute dog shit. Like, it gave me shit because like I guess I forgot that you could track a chest with a Sheikah sensor or something, and there was a DLC chest here. And I kept like not being able to get it, and I couldn't figure out why. Before eventually figuring out eventually finding it. We went back and forth to these ruins like 3 or 4 different times. But then this time, as we were walking in, I'm pretty sure it's in both games. There are Lizalfos here that shoot lightning arrows. But we came here during a lightning storm, and the lightning arrow Lizalfos got struck by lightning like right in front of me and died, and it was hilarious. And then you had to like go underground to this kind of like little like temple under here, and you had to like mine some rocks out. This is me hitting those 2 wells down there by where we found those Evermeans, and I think we saved Hetsu. I'm not positive. We went up and did this well, and like after we cleared it out, we killed like the boss Boko that was like patrolling it. And I think we went down and did a Korok there too. Yeah, and we hit a bunch of Koroks while we're in the area too. And we ended up just like following the canyon in here to go get this well that we just ran straight past in our rush to get to Gerudo Town. Glowed down to that well. I think there was a couple like Lizzles or a Lizzle and a Boko outside or something. Oh yeah, the Shadow Amulet. Was that the one that was guarded by the Wizrobe? I think it was. Maybe it was the other one I'm thinking of though. There's like 2 ruins on that side of the mountain with like villages. Okay, here was that one bit that gave me like a lot of shit that was super annoying of me trying to like hitch a bunch of materials to Bloob to just drag over for this Addison puzzle, but there was also like a monster camp like right over here, and like the silver Bokos kept like running up to attack me. I think there was like rain or thunder at one point too, and it was just like I spent forever just getting like a handful of materials for this guy for this one Addison puzzle. But then we explored, hit some Koroks, and did some wells here. This well was also a chasm that I just went down and then just immediately left, and it took us forever to like go back to that part of the depths. And I don't even know if we had to. I think we missed something there for the 100% map, but I'm not sure. There's that big monster tower that I considered going on, and then I ended up not doing. Then over here there was the Sandseal plush lady again, and also like a Korok race. There's like a battle talus up there and like a Hinox like there. Went back to the lake again, and it's like that was like the place in the first game where I discovered that bomb arrows don't work in the rain. Oh, I think this was me gliding down to get a stall horse for that one quest. Yeah, this is me getting a stall horse for this stable. And then he was like, oh, he wants like a deer or a bear. And then I think we saved that for later. Can't remember what I was doing here. Clearly fighting something. Maybe oh, wait, no. Hold on. Did I? Because I went to fight something over there. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I think I was hunting for Koroks mainly. But then